We'll just proceed on. The show
sounds good.
Must go on, as they say.
This cake is delicious.
You'll be proud. You know a movie that I've never watched all the way through?
No.
Jurassic Park.
Oh.
And Jurassic Park, Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3 are on HBO Max right now. So I started watching Jurassic Park.
Well, The Lost World is...
That's the only one that I've seen all the way
Jurassic Park
through.
is the best of the three, obviously. The Lost World, I've never sat down and watched the whole thing.
I have.
On its own. But I've watched like a Nostalgia Critic review of it. I've watched
that was the one
snippets
I owned.
of it.
I owned that as a kid. Never
my
saw
friend
Jurassic Park.
Michael Giacchino did the soundtrack.
Your friend Michael Giacchino?
He's not my friend.
Oh.
My friend Brandon, who you met, Brandon Obanoff.
Oh yeah, your best friend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pointed that out. He gave me the soundtrack to the Lost World video game that he got, and Michael Giacchino did the music for that.
For the video game or for the movie?
For the video game.
But not the movie?
But he did the soundtracks for Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Kind of funny.
So it's kind of coming around
right now,
there.
So that's why I started watching it. I'm only like 10 minutes in, but I'm in it. I get, like, I know what happens.
I think.
But there's just stuff, like, I've never sat down and
World?
watched it. No, Jurassic Park.
Oh.
Jurassic World, I have seen. I saw it in theaters. Jurassic World, what's the second Jurassic
You're
World?
not a true fan.
No,
You've
I'm
never
probably not.
seen it. You went and saw Jurassic World and you was like
Well,
dinosaurs.
I went with friends.
You don't even know who John Hammond is.
I do know who John Hammond is. I saw enough of Jurassic Park, but what's the Jurassic
Alan
World?
Grant, Ellie Sattler, Jeff Goldblum, who plays...
Are you done? Alan. I know that part.
I hate that part.
I can't wait till I get to 3, because that is the one that I haven't seen any of.
I've barely seen that one, too.
I haven't seen
But I've
any
seen
of
the
3.
first one all the way through. I went and saw it on IMAX, actually, when they re-released it.
Ooh, la-di-da. I'm pretty excited for Dominion. You know, I'll see it. I saw the first 2 in theaters. I saw the second one. What is the Kingdom? What is it called? Hidden, what is it? Jurassic World.
Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
It's not very... I did not like the ending to that.
But I watched that at a
Do not like
drive-in.
the ending.
I watched that at a drive-in. So...
I thought you said you watched that at a private.
No. I mean, no. I was in our... No, not private.
Spit it out!
I watched it with my privates. Am I right? All right, Christian, are you recording?
You're a little dinosaur. Yes, we're recording.
Good, because we got visions, neglect, possession, teenage angst land. All of this and more on this edition of Sequel Men, the podcast.
Coming at you, not live from the Department of Mysteries. 2 men talk about the films you care about. Or don't. It's the Sequel Men podcast, and it starts right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode of Sequel Men, the podcast. I know it's been a while, but we're back. It's been a while since I seen Spencer sitting across my way. He's getting up, he's walking to the shelf, and he's grabbing a book, okay. And he's sitting down and putting his mic in front of his big, beautiful face.
Yeah, careful. Thank you for that intro. Spencer,
Creed,
hi.
welcome.
How are you?
Oh, I'm Christian, by
Good.
the way.
Yeah, you are. You are. And today, together, we form the Sequel Men, the podcast. Today we're talking Order of the Phoenix. We're continuing Harry Potter. We've been on a little break. It was a spring break. I was in Florida, and Christian just needed some time. And we're back. We're going to hopefully get kind of back on schedule. But just real quick off the top, if you haven't already, if you're not already, follow us on the Facebook, on the Instagram. I just posted a picture. Christian is wearing his Hufflepuff robe.
And my robes. I'm
His
a
full
Hufflepuff.
robe. It's like he's going to class. So
It's my
check us out.
alumni
I've been
robes.
active there. It's his alumni robe. Yeah, he's an alumnus of Hufflepuff.
Alumnus Puff.
A Huff
don't
alumni.
know.
I don't know. But
It's my
check us out
favorite
there.
cereal.
And listen to us on shit. On wherever you listen to podcasts.
Well, don't
there.
put
We'll
your
keep
ear
it
to the
simple.
toilet bowl, but
Yeah, don't plug your. Well, who plugs their earbuds in anymore, right? Everything is wireless. Some people do, and that's okay.
well, Joel, I like to use on-ear headphones.
Oh, excuse me, because I'm not.
Because I'm a professional, okay. And, yeah.
The
And
battery's so light, I fucking
Okay.
Chase or not Chase, Chance.
Chance,
I don't
stop
know.
it. Stop it.
But we are in movie 5, book 5. Well, we're not talking. Harry Potter, Order of the Phoenix. I'm just going to tell you right now, this was my favorite book at the time of when I read them. Well, that would make sense because that's when you read books, the time that you read them. Has one of my favorite covers, like just all blue, ominous.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of neat. This is the most worn book. I don't know if this one was actually mine, which kind of makes me sad because I don't know if my grandma wrote in the one that was mine. I do believe this one was mine, though, but no note in this one. No note in this one. But I remember this being my favorite book. So...
Yeah, we had talked about that a little bit, and I told you about how my mom got me this book because we were planning a trip. She was planning on taking us to Ohio to visit my cousins and my aunt and uncle. So, and she had bought this book right beforehand, but she was basically like, "You can't start reading it until we go on the trip,"
yeah, you can't.
which I thought was fun,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wanted to fill people in a little bit on why we had such a long period between episodes and recordings here, because it's kind of relevant to what I was just saying about my mom getting me this book. Well, a couple months ago, my mom was put on hospice care for some health issues that I will not go into detail here.
Sure.
But this past couple weeks ago, on April 7th, she passed away on the morning of April 7th. And, of course, like I posted on Facebook, things take precedent over this.
Absolutely.
We can hold off on the recording a little bit. We can focus on preparations and putting things together and spending time with family and all that sort of thing. So that's what kind of took priority over the show. And sticking to our schedule, which is absolutely perfectly fine.
Yes, it is.
Because I think everyone understands why people understand things happen in this life that are more important.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted to explain to the audience why things were going the way they were, and just to
be transparent.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you for putting yourself out there. I wasn't gonna say anything, but you chose to do that, and hey, I applaud the vulnerability there. So obviously, that I've been thinking of you. Hopefully now that
And I really do appreciate
more, you'll get more vibes sent to you, more good vibes, and I hope your family, your dad and your sisters and your family's doing well.
We're getting through it.
Good.
You have your moments here and
course.
there, and personal
course.
moments, and of
Sure.
grief, and of happiness and sadness, and
Yeah.
but
it is nice to know that you'll have these books as a memory with her. So that's
particularly this one.
right, like you were saying.
And
Which
I'm
is
just
good.
she's one of the strongest, courageous, bravest women I know. This is a long struggle for many, many years, in the past few months, in the past few weeks. And she did it, and she powered through it with the strength of her faith and the strength of the love of her family. And I'm very proud to call her my mother, and I admire her strength and tenacity very much.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, and obviously you've talked about your family on various
It's something I've been thinking
episodes,
about a
and
lot lately.
You guys, I never met her, but I based on everything that you've said and how you've talked about her and the rest of your family, she was great. She's amazing. She's amazing.
Fantastic.
So I'm glad that you had that, because you got a little extra time with her than what you originally thought, which, hey, you take that, and it's the little blessings right there.
I see that as it's like a double edge here, because for us it was a blessing, but it wasn't all, flowers and roses in the entire period there. But I think it was her love of her faith and her love of her family that kept her with us so long. And she's got a strong, just strength in every shape and form, just spiritually, physically, emotionally.
And now it's you and I believe she's perfect again. So
admirable, and I really like that. Appreciate and admire that about her.
Yes, so
it's something we can carry on in our own lives.
So I think
better parts of her and me.
I think
try to be anyway.
And on your behalf, this episode will, I mean, I think it has to be dedicated to your mom, in memory of your mom. So, keep that in your mind. Keep Christian, keep his family in your thoughts. If you're the praying type, keep in the prayers. He seems to be doing well, as you can hear, but yeah, I
don't tell y'all. Yeah, I don't say this to be fishing for anything. I just wanted to mention, give a, what's the word? Just fill y'all in and give a little explanation and a little tribute memorial, I guess you could say. I don't know.
No,
I might even cut that out. But
yes. I think that's totally appropriate. I think it is, especially because of how you tied it in with this book specifically. So, good. Yes. Well, thank you for sharing all that. I know, it probably helps a little bit just to talk about her and stuff like that, and to get kind of back to a normal schedule. Recording.
I'm not one to normally do something like that.
No, you're not. But I admire I admire that you did. So. Thank you for sharing that, and we'll have some fun tonight, but it's dedicated to Christian's mother and his family. Thank you all for listening and for support for my guy right here. So let's power through. We're gonna have a good time. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Love you, Ma. Hope you're with us and you can have a good show tonight.
Bowling 300s. Because you said she's a bowler, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's absolutely right.
All right. Order of the Phoenix. Longest book, shortest movie. Or is it actually the longest book?
It is. I think it is.
It's the one that everybody always... I feel like it's a lot of people's least favorite book and movie.
I really, really like the book. The movie has some...
Let me rephrase real quick. I think a lot of people whose favorite book it is their least favorite movie because of how much they leave out. That was true for me, but after watching it, I loved it.
For the most part, they kept in a lot of great things from the book. I haven't read the book. I'm telling you right now, I have not read this book since that trip all the way through.
There's a lot of stuff in it.
And that was maybe 15, 16, 17 years ago. So, I don't remember all of the book. But I do think that in the film, they cut out... It boils down to what did they decide to keep in the movie versus what did they decide to take out.
Yeah.
And there's some things in the movie that I thought, well, this doesn't really add to the plot. So why did they have it in the movie when they could have spent more time and effects and resources on a different sequence that really needed it?
I would agree. There's a big part cut out from the book when they went to St. Mungo's hospital.
Huge.
I feel like that's... I mean, we get...
For Neville's story, it's incredibly important.
And we get him talking about his parents in the movie. But I think the movie has a weird pacing. I don't want to say issue because it's not like bad, but it kind of reminds me of the last movie where things are just, okay, we're here. We need to get this stuff out right now.
At least we have the Dursleys in up front and center at the beginning.
We do have the Dursleys. We're back to normal right there.
This is the first and only Harry Potter movie that wasn't written by Steve Kloves.
Maybe that's why it was so good. Just kidding. I don't know. I mean, it was good. But the end, I feel
Michael
like, is just
Goldberg
really
wrote
rushed.
this
Like, okay, here, we have to get this
the
in.
ending was just chopped up like a...
Give me a 4-hour movie.
It's like they took a chainsaw to a beautiful piece of steak.
The one thing there's several, but there's one thing that
I'll say the same thing
really
about
wish
Deathly
was in
Hallows
it.
Part 2 ending as well.
Yeah, we'll have some thoughts on that. There was one line from the book. I can't remember what Harry says exactly, but it's, well, he can't help. Hold on, I'm gonna get the line. Talk more.
Do you know what the line? Okay.
I do.
Hold on, let me get my tap dance shoes on. No, but I'm trying to think of I think they handled the Cho Harry romance well. Which, by the way, funny little trivia fact, Lego Star Wars, not the complete saga, that's the original. Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga just came out. April 5th, it came out. And I just looked at the cast. There was a name in the credits today. I finally beat it, episode 9. And Katie Lung is in the credits. She voices a character in the game. And I was like, that name sounds familiar. Where's that name? Oh, she's Cho Chang in Order of the Phoenix and Goblet of Fire. So I don't know who she voiced in the game.
Was it not? Wait, what game? I missed it because I'm looking
Skywalker
for this quote.
Saga.
Okay, I was
Lego
gonna say,
Star Wars.
wouldn't it be? Yeah. Wait, did you say you got that?
Yeah.
Oh, is it great?
Yes. I have it on the Switch. Man. Would you like to borrow it?
Well, I don't have a Switch.
Well, I have another Switch that you can borrow and play it on. You can even play it with Miles, too. Great game to play with
he's
kids.
Getting into Legos right now. Like he'd
probably love
recently getting into Legos.
I'm going to have some more cake.
Yeah, have some more cake while I find this quote.
Cake. So good.
So good.
The quote, not Dave.
Okay.
Wow,
all
what's
right.
his name? Franco? Dave Franco and James.
James
I can't believe
Franco.
I forgot his name.
Why can I not find it? This is bull. This is bull piss.
What is the quote? What part of the book is it?
I don't want to. It's at the end. I think it's in this book. When maybe it's not in this book. I think it's in this book because Harry says something, and then you just hear
J.K. Rowling wrote that in the book.
Something.
You know, eating this cake reminds me when we did Fear Street, and I had the donut with the sprinkles on it, the cookie. You were trying to say something, and this is great though.
Okay. I think I found it. Okay. Okay, hang on. All right, are you ready? Here it is. Harry says something, and then Voldemort says, "Can't I, Potter?" And it's just his voice. So, "Can't I, Potter?" said a high, cold voice. Harry opened his eyes. Tall, thin, and black-hooded, his terrible snake-like face white and gaunt, his scarlet, slit-pupiled eyes staring. Lord Voldemort had appeared in the middle of the hall, his wand pointing at Harry, who stood frozen, quite unable to move. And it makes me mad that is not how he came in. He just showed up behind him. I hate that they cut that line out. "Can't I, Potter?" Like,
what is he responding to?
Like, Harry says something to Bellatrix like, well, he can't save you now or something. He's not here now to save you or something like that. And then it's such a badass. I killed Sirius Black, la 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 la. She's great. She's amazing. But this movie.
You filthy half-blood!
Well, I got to sidebar real quick.
First of all, Harry is not a half-blood.
No, why? I didn't get that.
His mom and dad were both wizards. Just because his mother was born of muggles
Yeah, it doesn't
mean
relax,
anything.
dude. It's a muggle joke. Oh,
Come
man.
on.
I gotta
And
tell
Voldemort's
you
a self-hating
this was about
half-blood.
This was about 14 minutes ago. We must have been being loud or something, talking about nonsense.
Uh-oh.
No. It's fine.
Oh.
I get a text from my wife. You guys are something else. I said, we sure are. And she said, aside from only being able to hear parts of what you're saying, there is no way I could track even with the dialogue you use. That was funny. Because even if she could hear everything we're saying, she's never read Harry Potter, nothing like that, knows very, very little about it. So it's just funny.
She probably just heard me screaming, "You filthy half-blood."
Well, I imagine she's up there, like, just hearing us, I don't know what part, but just going, yeah. It's just funny. Do you remember where you saw the movie?
Oh, this whole thing again. We
'Cause
do
I
this.
don't.
We do this.
I don't remember where I saw any of these except for the last.
It's sad a little bit because this is the last time me and my uncle and my sisters went to the theater to see a Harry Potter movie.
Oh, bummer.
We saw 1 through 5. Then after that, the tradition just kind of fell out. But
Happens.
I remember going to see an IMAX, and I specifically remember there were certain parts of the movie they say, put your glasses on, because the whole movie wasn't in 3D. It was only certain sections.
What?
And one of those sections was like the Thestral, at the end when they fly to the Ministry.
Oh, yeah.
In the Thestrals.
Yeah.
I remember my glasses were screwed up. Like I had scratched them or something, put them in my pocket, but I put them on, and it's like, this is not a correct effect. I should not be seeing this kind of effect. This is wrong, and it didn't ruin the experience, but it was a distraction.
It was just annoying.
The same IMAX we've went to for all these years is the same one.
It's been
there for a long time.
It used to not even play regular movies. It was movies made when it was brand new.
Mm-hmm.
It was movies made specifically for IMAX, like that space one that I was telling you about, the 3D space one. Was I telling you about that?
I saw the Polar Express in that IMAX.
Me too.
And
3D.
that was 2004.
That was cool.
Can you believe that? That's how long it's been there.
You know what's weird to me, and I think I've said this before, besides from the first one and the last 3, so Chamber, Prisoner, Goblet, Order, I have no memory, I have no recollection of the first time I saw them. I have zero memory. Like, I couldn't even tell you if it was in a theater or if it wasn't. I couldn't tell you if it was a DVD or if it was a VHS.
I couldn't tell you if I had my clothes on.
I honestly couldn't. I have no idea where I saw these movies.
What?
It's all just... the middle ones are all just a jumble. It's so weird.
I don't remember seeing the 6th one in theater.
Like, it's crazy.
But I do remember seeing the 7th one.
Like, I remember where I've seen most movies I've seen. These, zero. Like, I'm a big Harry Potter fan. Zero idea when I watched the movies for the first time. It's weird. But any hooser.
You're not a real fan if you don't remember.
I am.
I know.
Anti-Potter. All right, you want to get into Act 1?
All the parts with Voldemort in the book are great.
Yes.
In the books, I mean. Like in Goblet of Fire, we talked about that. Like that whole scene, that whole chapter of him just monologuing to everybody in that graveyard is great. And then he does it again here when he shows up at the end.
He's got a sick suit in this one, too. The weird little flashes.
I don't think he looks gaunt enough, though.
No, he doesn't look like a snake either.
No,
but
his eyes are supposed to be red and slits.
They had to adapt it.
He would have been too scary, I think, was the reason why they changed it.
All right. The
reader grows up with the books.
There's a part in here where I'm just thinking the editors saw this, put it in, okayed it, and thought it was good. Uh-oh. When Harry's getting the flashes, when Voldemort's possessing him in the end, there's just like a half a second clip of him going, yeah. And I don't know why. That's what
when
they
it cuts
chose.
him going, like,
yeah, it's Voldemort going, yeah,
yeah.
And I don't know why.
Hey, you know
they
what?
thought that was okay.
If Amit was back, we wouldn't even have Voldemort.
Yeah, true.
His judgment would have been sealed. And
Yep.
I just started watching
Bastard.
Moon Knight. That's why I brought that up.
Yes.
I finished the 4 episodes yesterday.
So you're caught up.
Yes.
It's getting
really good.
Hey, next
When those-
week. No, most recent
That was
episode was
creepy.
dark. Like they showed spoilers for Moon Knight
Spoiler
episode
alert.
4. But like they show him get shot. There's it's violent stuff that I don't remember seeing in the
psych
MCU
ward.
before.
It turns into One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
Yeah, that
Nest.
part. I don't know what's
And then
going
a
on there.
hippo. Hi.
There's that third personality. All right. You
Oh,
eat that
that's
cake
right.
while I read Act 1. How's that sound? Of
Okay.
Order of the Phoenix, not Moon Knight.
Okay.
All right. Act 1.
He's been attacking Dumbledore as well. Fudge is using all his power, including his influence at the Daily Prophet, to smear anyone who claims the Dark Lord has returned.
Why?
The Minister thinks Dumbledore's after his job.
But that's insane. No one in their right mind could believe that Dumbledore...
Exactly the point. Fudge isn't in his right mind. It's been twisted and warped by fear. Now, fear makes people do terrible things, Harry. The last time Voldemort gained power, he almost destroyed everything we hold most dear. Now he's returned, and I'm afraid the Minister will do almost anything to avoid facing that terrifying truth.
We think Voldemort wants to build up his army again. 14 years ago, he had huge numbers at his command, and not just witches and wizards, but all manner of dark creatures. He's been recruiting heavily, and we've been attempting to do the same. But gathering followers isn't the only thing he's interested in. We believe Voldemort may be after something.
Serious?
Something he didn't have last time.
You mean, like a weapon?
No, that's enough. He's just a boy. You say much more and you might as well induct him into the order straight away.
Good, I want to join. If Voldemort's raising an army, then I want to fight.
It's a beautiful day in the middle of an English cornfield that also happens to have a fenced-in playground for teenagers. Harry is dealing with some internal shit, then some external shit shows up in the form of Gangster Dudley and his posse. He bullies him, Dudley bullies Harry, until the clouds turn gray and the Dementors show up and almost suck the happiness out of Dudley, but Harry patronuses them away and is met with Mrs. Fig, who, this would have been a big reveal if we'd have met her in other movies that she's featured in the books, whatever. She's the babysitter, though. She used to babysit Harry. He had no idea. She's been keeping tabs on Harry by order of Dumbledore. Dudley accuses Harry of attacking him, to which Uncle Fuckbag claims justice.
Oh.
A letter comes flying in that informs Harry he's been expelled for using magic, thus proving the justice system unjust in the case of self-defense. Is this actually set in America? Alone in his room, he is met by some members of the Order of the Phoenix. Kingsley Shacklebolt, best name in the universe. Tonks, Babe, the real Mad-Eye Moody, Witch, and Boothead.
Wow.
They take him to the
Boothead.
headquarters, a.k.a. Grimmauld Place at Sirius Black's childhood house. Sirius is there along with the Weasleys and Lupin and Snape and again Boothead's there. They're in they're in the Order as well and speak about how to handle Voldemort. They can't tell Harry everything for safety and he gets annoyed. Harry does. Hermione and Ron are there too. Hermione, it doesn't make sense for Hermione to be there. Harry has some sort of nightmare, but then we're with Arthur Weasley heading to Harry's trial for his expulsion. Fudge and Dolores Umbridge, are two of the most punchable people in the room as they deny Voldy's return in very much the same way Republicans deny most real-world threats. Dumbledore fights for Harry, that's right, America, for Harry, and brings Mrs. Fig in as a witness. The jury apparently squirts Harry
What?
I don't know what I meant to say.
Squirts Harry.
Squirts him. I don't know.
Exonerate?
No. Harry and Dumbledore. Harry, they... What was I trying to say? I don't know, but Dumbledore ignores him as he walks out. They free him.
You need a translator.
He's out. Sirius as a dog and goes to King's Cross to see Harry off and give him a picture of the original Order of the Phoenix featuring his parents. The carriages arrive to take students to school, and Harry sees a dead horse pulling the carriage, but nobody else does. Enter Luna Lovegood, my new favorite character. Well, my old favorite character. She's just a great character. A spacey student who also sees them to reassure Harry. Off to school. So fun stuff. We have courtroom drama.
Wait. What? What am I? Hold on. Wait.
Apparently they squirt him right on the stand. Just, you know what? No. Squirt him with some magic.
Put the wand in his hand.
Oh.
Give it to him. Aquamenti.
Aquamenti.
No.
Put it in his hand. Aguamenti. Give the wand to him. Oh. I don't know. That's a little snippet from Flubber.
Oh.
Which maybe we'll do on an April Fool's Day as a one-off.
I love that movie.
No, this movie starts off, like, the way this movie is
starts off accurately
is
enough.
Great. Like, I love how this whole first scene is shot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why this playground is where it is. It makes no sense.
Well, in the book, he's not even in a playground. I remember he's laying in like a lilac or a petunia bush out under the window. Remember? The
Petunia
Dursley's
bush?
window. Yeah.
His aunt?
Oh. No. Oh, no. No.
They got real close.
That's
over the
not...
summer. This just in Daily
Thanks
Prophet.
a lot.
Muggle aunt
Oh, no.
in prison. Pedophilia. Christian, come on, man.
You went there.
I did. But notice that I put her in prison.
Justice.
Christian is holding up a spoon. Much
I
like
love when he's putting
Uncle
Dudley in the car and he puts the towel over his face when he shoves him in so the neighbors don't see.
I like the, hey God, Joel, sorry, we're human.
Something wrong with him.
Yeah, that part when his face is like reassuring him, like, I know, that's a fuck off.
So they just left Harry alone in their house.
Yeah, apparently.
Also in the book, this is where we learn more about Petunia's background.
Is it?
I think, doesn't Dumbledore show up? No.
That's in the last book.
But they get a letter from Dumbledore, I think.
Yeah.
Telling them to be careful because Voldemort's back and they need to be extra careful or something like that. And we learn a little backstory about Petunia.
There's a quote.
But we don't get that in the movie.
No, which I don't know why.
The nicest thing I can say about that is in the movies we learn about Petunia's relationship through visual stuff. It's not exposition. Which is good because it's a cinematic medium.
In the book, the letter says
Dear Petunia Dursley, you've been accepted into Hogwarts. Oh, just kidding.
You're in. Just kidding. What does he say?
Hey, how come Jacob gets special treatment but not Petunia?
Jacob?
From Fantastic Beasts.
Different time. That's why. They probably learned from that. You can't let a muggle in.
I still haven't seen that movie. But I really
the
want to.
most recent one?
Yeah.
What does it say? It says something.
Are you reading it?
I'm trying.
Do your eyes work?
Yeah, but I can't. Harry Potter and Flies. Petunia. Okay.
Or am I misremembering it?
No.
I'm pretty sure I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, man. Says Biden.
Is it a howler?
I think it's one of those. One of those types of letters. It's not the
Howler?
Mathilda Hopkirk. Which I love. That's kind of a ring theory back to Prisoner of Azkaban. Or at least when we get to the...
Oh! Sorry, I found
go
it.
ahead.
The Howler was written by Albus Dumbledore to Petunia Dursley. It says... The big quote that's like a mystery box is, "Remember my last, Petunia." So I can't remember, and the movies don't tell us, but there was something important there. So, yeah, good stuff. We can't remember.
What I was saying was it's kind of a ring theory going back to Prisoner of Azkaban.
Uh-huh.
Where,
There's a trial.
underage magic, not a big deal. We don't send people to Azkaban for blowing up their aunts.
Only for self-defense.
Tom.
Yeah.
But now in this one, we get involved in all this political, the politics of the Ministry and the Wizarding World, and
They're denying Voldemort's
they're
back.
denying it because they don't want to confront the absolutely horrendous reality of what it means for him to be back.
Well, it's easier just to be like,
It's
what?
easier to put on your
We didn't see him, so he's not
rose-tinted
there.
glasses and say everything's fine. It's like the dog in the burning house meme. This is fine.
Oh, yeah, everything is fine. This is good. This is okay.
But
yeah, she is the worst.
now that Harry's a threat, perceived threat by them, they're coming
Right.
up with all this cockamamie stuff to keep him from going to school, to put him in, to get him expelled and all, cahoots with Dumbledore, all that stuff. It's a load of hogwash. Hogwarts.
Hogwarts wash.
But I think the movie opens just fine.
I think it opens great.
I miss the Patronus effects from Prisoner of Azkaban. They're slightly different.
Well, this one, it shows the full stag, right? No, it's just like
It's just a blob of light.
Well, the Dementors look different in this, too. They don't have a hood.
I know. I liked
Which-
the Dementors look in Prisoner of Azkaban before.
Yeah, me too. I don't know why they changed it. But, yeah, their mouth grosses me out. Their little hole, their little, with the teeth. Reminds me of the shark from James and the Giant Peach.
Really?
The movie, not the book. Because it is a book.
It kind of reminds me of something from Lord of the Rings. A little bit, the mouth.
Probably a lot of
thing.
things. There's monsters there.
But Dudley, that whole, it's good. The intro's fine. But it is I think they paced the intro part just fine.
They did. And how about the wardrobe of Dudley's thugs and him? Like, that's
What
a
they
classic.
oh, man.
We all go through that phase with the long shorts
I never
and the tank
did.
top, the basketball
Not with
shorts.
the basketball Nike silver
Yeah.
reflective tank and
What?
sleeveless.
Michael Jordan.
That guy's actually lost all that weight now, and he's
He had to
in.
wear a fat suit.
He's in. Is that true? Mm-hmm. For this movie,
Yeah, so they didn't. Well, for the last movie and this movie, I think.
really?
Maybe not this one, but the last one,
That crossed my mind. Like,
I think.
but yeah, he's in the chess show with Anya Taylor-Joy,
The Queen's Gambit.
the Queen's Gambit.
He's in that as a
Yeah.
main character.
He's a side character.
Like, but is he a
He's
reoccurring
in,
character?
yeah.
I'll have to watch.
I
haven't
didn't
watched
even
that yet.
recognize him. But I like. It's good to see his career take a better turn after just being almost in Harry Potter exclusively. I think. I've never seen him in anything else.
I mean, well, I probably have and didn't recognize him.
Mm.
Thug Dudley.
Thug Dudley. That's
And then
his
even
band.
though he saves him, Harry saves him.
That's
of
his
course,
rapper's name.
Thug Dudley. Thug Duds.
Oh man, I love that.
Thug Duds.
I love that already. Already.
Already. Thug Dudley. Christian, are you writing the recap rap?
Thug Dudley.
I'm going to give you a little
should
hint.
make your own rap and call it Thug Dudley. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm going to give you a little hint as to what song I use.
I'm not
the
Howie.
recap.
I'm not Howie.
Just keep playing that over and over. I used a song, and I'll say the song really slaps. So There's my little hint as to what I used.
Okay.
Dumbledore's
Remember
attitude.
my last.
Yep. Dumbledore's attitude is like sarcasm when he's talking to the
what did he
minister and
say?
the jury. And just
I
how
got
he's-
here
how
3
he's
hours
carrying
earlier.
himself. Right.
Well, I wouldn't have known, but luckily I arrived here 3 hours early.
He has a lot of banger
He knew
lines
that
in
they were
this
going to
one.
pull this kind of crap.
Because they're trying to get him out too. Because Harry's on Dumbledore.
They
and
knew
Harry
if
are on the
Dumbledore was
same-
there, he'd have a compelling argument.
and he did, and he brought Mrs. Fig. And
I
Harry's
couldn't
Fig.
help but feel like he did coach Mrs. Fig to say
yeah?
those things, because it cuts to Dumbledore like looking at her like,
Say fucking things.
and then he puts his hands up.
I'll kill you. Dumbledore, something to add? No, Minister. That's not how he talks. I don't
Fudge,
know.
I implore you, see reason. And it's like Dumbledore's not trying to do anything. This
Not
is
yet.
the real thing that happened. They're not. This is what drives me nuts. Harry was there when it happened.
Yep, he did it.
Why would he lie?
He must not tell lies.
To put up to just in a ploy to make Dumbledore the minister? He wouldn't. Come on.
Well, they don't know that he wouldn't.
Well, it's
do
like what
that.
Remus says. Like, nobody in their right mind would believe Dumbledore's trying to do this. And then Remus is like, well, that's exactly the point. He's not in his right mind.
Exactly.
He's blinded by fear.
He is.
And it's very apropos to, in recent American politics, the political climate.
Sucks and
It's
it's
similar.
stupid.
It's similar.
I mentioned them a couple times in this. A lot of the stuff as I'm watching,
Fear,
I'm going.
especially
am I
in terms of
watching-
schooling
Am I watching the news
and
currently?
curriculum.
Yeah. Florida looking at you, but
About the role of government in determining what the curriculum will be and whatever, and to the extent of what the kids learn and all that sort of thing.
and how they teach it.
Yeah,
Speaking of how
very
the
relevant.
government controls the school, Umbridge. I wrote this, so I'm going to read what I wrote as my note. Umbridge makes me want to scrape nails on a chalkboard and then record it and put magic earbuds in her ears that play that sound on full blast that she can never remove. Oh. She's the worst, dude.
man.
She's worse than Voldemort. Because
Are you suggesting that the Ministry sent these Dementors? Well, that would be disturbing indeed.
so I suspect
Fudge.
they're doing a full investigation. But they're not. They don't care.
I love the unspoken tension between all the people
Everybody?
in this scene, like just through the way everything, the cuts, the decisions to cut between different characters.
The
and
one
so on.
lady, like kind of the spokesperson.
I think that's
Susan Bones' mom, right?
Is it? I
Yeah.
thought it was Hopkirk.
Oh, maybe you're right. No, maybe. What?
All those in favor of exoneration?
Miss Fig raises her hand.
Yeah,
It's like, listen, you don't get a vote. She realizes.
She has a
that's her
bigger
hand.
role in the book.
Yeah, and she's in more books. Like, kind of a big deal. That
Bump
would have been
thing.
a good big reveal.
I think
But this is
she's
the first time we're
I think
seeing
she's
her.
a squib in the book.
I think so. She is. In this one, it's just kind of.
Don't put away your wand, Harry. They could come back.
And then Harry's
I've got
blown away
another
like you
squeaky
used to
voice."
babysit me, dude. The
It's on my butt.
in the book. What about your butt? What?
Used to babysit me.
Yep.
So she probably...
Oh, wiped his butt. I will say that we learn. I think we either learn in the book, or we just use context clues because we know her more. That she doesn't particularly treat Harry great
No.
when she's babysitting. The reason for that is it doesn't raise suspicion, and then
So the Dursleys would suspect that she's...
if she treated him well and good and got along with him, they wouldn't allow him to go there because they wouldn't want him to have that place to be happy and whatever. So she treats him like they would treat him, so then they continue to send him there, allowing her to keep an eye on him. And I believe that is talked about somewhere, but that's the reason for it in the book. But yeah, Act 1. Why is Hermione at the Order?
You made a good point when
why
you
is she
said
there?
that. I never thought of that.
She has to be there because all the friends have to be there. Yeah,
Well, she'll
Fred
be
and
left
George
out.
have the new ear that they can hear.
I remember that
stuff.
from the book.
We learn about the there's a weapon that Voldemort wants to get. Harry is just
I hate
mad
your
at
cat,
everybody.
Hermione.
Yeah, I don't like it either, just because
When
I think it's
Crookshanks-
ugly. The flat-faced butt sniffer cats, I don't like those.
Wow.
I don't like them.
Wow.
I think in the
I
book
have
it's not
nothing
full
to say
cat.
about
It's like
that.
a half cat, half some sort of monster.
Well, at least Ron doesn't have scabbers anymore. Oh, I'm sorry, Peter.
Yeah, Peta Peta Scabbers grew.
Scabbers grew. Yeah. Ooh, here's a fun foreshadowing for you.
Yes.
When, they're talking, it's dinner time, meeting's over, and Sirius is like going borderline, well, you might as well induct him to the Order now since you blah, blah, blah. But he's telling him, well, it's something, talking about recruitment. It's not about just recruiting people. It's searching for something he never had before.
Yeah.
Like a weapon. And behind Sirius, in the frame on the left, there's like a ball, a lamp.
I didn't see
or a gas bulb with a flame in it.
Good eye.
And that's like what the prophecy looks like later on in the movie.
see that.
So it's kind of nice foreshadowing there in the background. That stuff's important. People look at the frame, scan the frame, see if you can see anything.
There was some stuff no, I guess there wasn't anything I caught. That was a good catch though, like a nice little catch. How
I didn't like.
we also learn a little bit about the Sirius Black's family tree. We see
Yeah, but
that
that-
and how his mom burned away the people in it that she didn't like. So he was in there because they were.
But that was later on in the movie.
Yeah.
But you can.
No, wasn't that this?
No, that was his.
Oh, you're right.
At Christmas.
You're right. Might be. Forget that I said that. But they're not there very long. They go to school. The Thestrals are really cool because they're like these Evil Dead looking horses, but they're like just gentle. You know, and
They're fantastic
the
beasts.
the magic behind them is you cannot see them. So nobody sees them except for Harry and Luna. Because you can
Looney
only see them if you've seen death. And Luna saw her mom die, and Harry, just recently saw Cedric die. So that's why he can see him.
Would it
And the
have
magic
counted
behind this
also
is really neat.
as a baby?
Who?
Harry? Because he was there when
No,
his
because this is the
parents
first
got
time
killed.
he's seen him. Because remember, he's like, why? What are these things pulling the carriage? And they're like,
You're right.
you're a moron.
You're right.
There's nothing pulling the carriage, you idiot.
You're a moron, said Hermione, calmly.
Calmly, yeah. Harry, you're a moron. She does say that kinda to Ron later on.
There's always a thing that Hermione says, there's nothing there, Harry. There's no voices, Harry. Just us.
I want him to be like,
She
you know
says that almost like in the last two movies.
First of
something
all,
like that.
Hermione, if I think that I hear you, I do hear shit.
Are you questioning
Luna,
my
tell her.
sanity?
You hear Luna? You talk about... Yep,
Looney,
and I
you
hear
tell
it.
her. Luna, go.
So
tell
I
her.
have had it. Yep, you're the smartest of us all. You're probably the best witch here. But don't tell me I don't hear what I hear. You don't know what I've been through.
I can hear.
Yes, I can hear. And there's shit coming out of that arch. Now, if you don't mind, I have some Death Eaters to
Harry, did
slay.
you fill your flask? I've already filled them.
Did you fill your archway? I had already filled it when you got here. All right.
Aren't they thirsty?
Holes. Why do we not... Why can we not... There's no sequel.
What does that spell?
D-I-G. Dig. All right. Back to Harry Potter.
Can I
where were
say...
Thestrals. They go...
I remember in the book, Harry goes hard at Grimmauld Place on Ron and Hermione.
A little... He gives it to
He
him a little bit more.
screams at them.
He does, because they haven't...
Like,
nobody's
where
telling
are
him
you?
anything.
You weren't there. I did it by myself. Blah, blah,
And
blah.
this is all we find out later why, but
We
it's
find
also
out why this
teenage,
anger's leaking
just
in.
hormones.
Yeah.
But I like how they don't like give it back. Like they understand. They don't know what he's gone through, and they realize what he has gone through. So they give him grace with that. Like, you know what? We're here for you. You know, get it all out. Yeah, you're kind of being a dick, but we understand.
And nobody's writing you letters because they're trying to keep you safe.
Even though we said we
Peaky.
would. What?
Bit peaky.
Mrs. Weasley.
Mrs. Weasley is just a gem of a person.
She considers Harry another son,
yes.
is what she says.
Yeah, she does. She does say that. Which is why they can't tell him anything.
We have to act now.
I wish he kind of understood, though. Or I wish they... Why couldn't they just say,
he's
Harry,
15.
listen, there's a connection between you two. That's why we can't tell you things, because we don't know when you know who might be listening in. Can you just please understand that? And then get him with Snape to try the occlumency sooner. Maybe before it gets too rough. Like, hey,
Not in the middle of the night after Arthur gets attacked
right?
in the next
dude,
act.
he's already worked up. He already doesn't like Snape. Snape doesn't like him. So you're gonna put him in this situation.
swine.
Yeah, why? He didn't have to say what he said either.
No.
Like he's kind of taken out.
You
hatred.
escalated it.
Yeah, but we do see that's in later act.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Act 1 I thought was one of the stronger acts in any of these movies.
It had everything. It had the
did.
Dursleys' introduction, even if it was brief.
It had the Weasleys.
It had the Weasleys. It had Sirius.
It's Sirius. We see more. This is the most.
Did
we
you
see
notice
Sirius.
Harry when they go to Grimmauld Place and they do the ding ding, ringing the doorbell or whatever when he knocks his cane? No. When
Notice what? I mean, I saw
his
that
staff,
part.
Mad Eye.
Yeah. Now I had watched
When they
that
open the thing and then Harry's like,
days ago at this point. The classic. Jeez,
like in Magical
I love
Wonderment.
magic. Harry, keep your voice down. There's muggles around. You cannot say the M word.
But I love that is kind of cool because in the next movie we'll talk about it when we get there. But there's another moment like that I like. But I didn't like the Tonks. Don't call me Nymphadora. It's like, okay, people who read the books would get that, but
Well, she doesn't like her name. Dude.
I just thought it was
I'll
kind
be
of
honest.
unnecessary.
She's kind of attractive.
She is attractive.
I think in the next one, the way she styles her hair, not good. But this one,
I don't remember
regular,
it.
Yeah, it's not good. You'll see. But in this
Hold on.
one, she's kind of a babe. Even with the pig snout. I like how her hair changes colors. That's a big thing. It's described in the book as violently purple. Or
Violently purple?
Yeah, violently purple. It's like a violent
It's such a
purple.
strong purple that it's offensive to the eyes. There.
Yeah.
There you go.
I thought in the book it was hot pink at one. Well, anyway, she, again, you'll never know this from watching this movie, but she's got a thing for Lupin, and Lupin's like, no, I'm too old. You can't. Talk about that in the book.
There's something with Lupin that's cut out of book 7. I know that's way.
Yeah, let's save that. We
But-
kind of covered all of Act 1 if you want to move to Act 2. I know I'm kind of moving along at the pace of this movie.
I
but
gotcha.
There's just a lot of
Yeah,
good meaty
Act 2
stuff
is
in
when we
Act
get
2.
into the Great Hall and Dumbledore's speech and then all the meat of the movie.
And Dolores.
Go for it.
I'm throwing up.
Yeah.
She's the worst.
Don't make me throw up. I just ate this blue and green cake.
Hold on, I gotta scoot up.
Want something yellow?
My computer's too far away. My eyes are old.
You're not old. You're 31, aren't you?
No, I'm 30. I'm gonna be 31 in a couple months.
Okay, I was
Easy.
close.
Professor, but what exactly are you insinuating?
I am merely requesting that when it comes to my students, you conform to the prescribed disciplinary practices.
So silly of me, but it sounds as if you're questioning my authority in my own classroom. Minerva.
Not at all, Dolores. Merely your medieval methods.
I am sorry, dear. But to question my practices is to question the ministry, and by extension, the minister himself. I am a tolerant woman, but the one thing I will not stand for is disloyalty.
Disloyalty?
Things at Hogwarts are far worse than I feared. Cornelius will want to take immediate action.
The yearly greetings from Dumbledore commence, and Dolores Umbridge is introduced as the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, and she is as qualified to be in education as Betsy DeVos is. Clearly, they got her from the Florida educational system. Don't worry, kids. If she just shelters you and tells you that danger isn't out there, it must be true. Again, I say, this is relative to the GOP, as a British-based movie can get. Seamus is mad at Harry because his mom told him to be. In Defense Against the Dark Arts class, Umbridge gets called out by Harry, and he's just kind of letting it go in this one. Like, he doesn't care he's just letting everybody have it. Called out by Harry, and he's met with detention, where he must write that he must not tell lies with a magic quill that burns the words in his hand. Harry finds a family of Thestrals and Luna hanging out with him. They have a very wholesome and heartfelt chat about life and death and how Volds would want Harry alone, so keep your friends close. Umbridge starts her reign of terror, making bullshit rules and sucking fun out of Hogwarts, and even fires Professor Trelawney. And listen, we know she sucks as a professor, but come on. She tries to kick her out of the school, but Dumbledore lets her stay to live there. He owns Umbridge and continues to ignore Harry. The crew speaks with Sirius for a bit in the fire, and they decide that they need to start a secret class to learn to defend themselves. Give them a chance to defend themselves. Oh, Harry. Yep, Harry is elected teacher and leader, and thus Dumbledore's Army is born, and kind of threw him under the bus, putting his name on it. They need a teaching space. Neville accidentally discovers the Room of Requirement, perfect for teaching in secret. Of course, the first spell Harry teaches is the only fucking one he knows, Old Faithful Expelliarmus. Harry finds a groove with teaching, and students are starting to get it, but Umbridge is still making rules, and Filch tries to discover the room. Neville finally nails the Expelliarmus, while everybody else has just completely moved on from it. He's on day 2, they're on day 22, and Harry is quite the professor. Harry kisses Cho in front of a picture of Cedric while she's crying, so that's a great scene. Harry has a dream, a nightmare really, that he is a snake and attacks Arthur Weasley in the Ministry. Dumbledore employs the paintings to go check on him, and Snape to teach Harry occlumency to shield Harry's mind from Voldemort. Harry snaps at Dumbledore here. Look at me! Getting... he's the occlumency to prevent Voldemort getting in there nice and cozy like in Harry's mind. It's Christmas. Harry explains how he's mad all the time to Sirius after going over the Black family tree. He's worried he's becoming Voldemort-like, but as we all know, it's just typical teenage hormones and angst. Hagrid's back, and he's been away trying to recruit the Giants in the fight against Voldy. Azkaban gets blown open, and Bellatrix Lestrange is free and evil. She's Sirius Black's cousin, by the way. She's a cousin. I wrote that. I forgot I wrote that. So naturally, the dipshit minister blames Sirius for this. It's Patronus Day in the DA class, and everybody picks up on it rather quickly, much quicker than Harry did. That is until Umbitch breaks in and shuts it down, and the minister sentences Dumbledore to Azkaban, but he is a complete waste of a wizard because Dumbledore has no intention of going quietly. He and Fawkes the Phoenix piece the fuck out and disappear. You can't deny Dumbledore has style. It's mass detention for the DA, and they get the hand-burning quill treatment. Hagrid introduces the crew to his half-brother Giant Grop. During a lesson with Snape, Harry goes inside Snape's mind and sees that his father was kind of a bully towards Snape. He gets kicked out. During the owl exams, Fred and George go out in style as well as they sabotage the school with fireworks and displays of greatness, destroying Umbridge's decrees and calling it a career. The celebration is cut short for Harry as he gets a vision that Voldemort has Sirius and is trying to get some prophecy from him.
Shukang.
That's a long one. Wait till the next one. Wait till the next one. A lot of good stuff happens in this one. We got to try to condense it so we don't talk about it for 2 hours because there's a lot that happens in this act.
I know.
Where do we start? Right at the beginning.
First of all,
Umbridge, the worst.
Umbridge.
Tim. Fuck off.
I can't even tee-hee that high pitched. Oh, and then she just has the audacity to interrupt Dumbledore's speech.
And sidebar: he who must not be named is not real. He never existed. Yeah. He was never here. He was never real, and it was all made up by baby Harry. Blow up Pegasus, Umbridge. Come on, shut up.
Wow. As Joel was saying. Oh!
I miss Joel. Miss him on the show.
I'm telling you right now, if my teacher had done that to me with my hand, and I started feeling that right off the bat, I would not have kept writing lines. I would have been like, dropping that pen and getting up and out of there, because that is unacceptable.
Well, she says as long as it takes to
child
sink in.
abuse.
I'm like, yep, I got it.
That's child abuse. He's 15 in the book. In this movie, he's a minor.
But if you remember when he was 11, detention, they allowed him to go to the Forbidden Forest.
Nothing. He was under the caretaking.
No, he wasn't.
Caretaking of Hagrid.
Hagrid sent him with Malfoy
Well,
alone.
that's because he knew that there wasn't anything dangerous in the forest.
Except for Voldemort.
Well, Hagrid...
It's the Forbidden Forest for a reason, Christian.
He didn't know Voldemort was in the forest.
But it's forbidden.
Forest?
Okay, Swedish chef.
Yeah.
They can't... Look, it's forbidden for a reason. Anybody who goes in there, don't... If you wish to die...
Your argument has no water. This...
Excuse me? Yes, it does. It's forbidden.
Excuse me? Are we going to do Pitch
dangerous.
Perfect? There's 3 of them.
Yeah, maybe we will.
But I've been shot.
Maybe we will. Those are great. Well, the first one is. All right, back to
reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
Snap back to reality.
Why does he keep writing?
Because
I would have gotten up and out of there.
To feel something.
And then her reaction to,
yes, that's right. Because deep down inside, you know that you deserve this.
and it's like, what kind of sadistic, sick person
Dolores
does that?
Typical Dolores. Oh, Dolores Jane Umbridge.
I do like how Harry confronts her in the class, though.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Voldemort.
Yeah. He's like, I was there. I saw Cedric. He was murdered. Why you must know this. Like, he's really trying.
It wasn't a dream. It really happened. But I just don't get.
Listen.
So Cedric just fucking killed himself. Just drop that.
Charles is telling the truth. Charles is telling the truth. Lord Voldemort has returned.
I was just walking in the maze and I saw this guy with no nose and I was like, whoa, look at this knucklehead. Yeah, and I was there too.
And then he waved his stick around and the little green light came out.
Shaq, I don't need your help. Hey, I saw the Dark Lord myself. It's pretty cool. He didn't have a nose. I thought, yep. Pretty scary. I could take him one-on-one.
Now wait on a minute. Now everybody just wait.
Gal. No
now
when
he touched the goblet, the trophy, the cup.
I'm speculating, but it was a portkey. Voldemort killed Cedric, and we're just gonna let him get away from it. This first round pick, Cedric, God rest his soul, is now gone. He doesn't even have a chance to defend himself. Keep it here. We're going to take magic calls. Sorry, I stole your thunder there. You set me up.
No, it's perfect.
Yeah, what he said. And it's just terrible. This school. Yeah,
why are you doing this? Is that Michael Jordan? That meme? Stop that. What is it?
I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to.
There's a meme with Michael Jordan when he's like, stop doing that or something.
I don't know. Sounds like something you'd say.
Maybe I can find it.
Yeah,
Maybe I can find it.
But Dolores, the worst part, like, This is the worst part about anybody that like denies real threats that we know are real because we've all seen it. Harry's seen it. Like they don't even like. How do they think Cedric?
What's another connection that we can make in reality versus
Donald Trump with the COVID-19?
Okay, that's
I mean,
one.
that's not even me like
or downplaying the threat is what we could say.
Right.
I know there's other not even in just our reality, but in other fictional things, warning about you have to listen. Like they're on the way. I got one.
In most
the
movies.
Reapers in Mass Effect, people who played Mass Effect, they're okay. Let me give you. I'm going to do what you do to Joel on religion.
Sure, that's fine.
In Mass Effect, all different species of the Milky Way come together. We live in a society, galactic society.
That sounds sweet.
But every 50,000 years, a mechanical race of sentient beings comes from dark space to basically reset civilization.
I'm down.
Because once intelligent civilization reaches a threshold, it becomes they become threatened by synthetics versus what?
Narcotics.
No, synthetics versus organics. So the Reapers come in and they harvest all intelligent life to restart the cycle every 50,000 years. So Commander Shepard, the player the character you play as and you customize at the beginning of the game, you encounter the Reapers again because that 50,000 year limit is coming up. And they're on the way. Like the threat is here. They're coming.
But nobody believes.
But nobody listens to them. The council, the Citadel Council, they like downplay the threat. They're like, well, you don't have any evidence about these so-called Reapers. And it's like, well, part of that is rational because you don't want to panic. You don't want mass hysteria.
But there's a better way to
but
do
there's a difference between not wanting to cause a panic versus thinking that they're making all this stuff up so as part of some conspiracy to take your
flat earthers
position.
Flat earthers. Look at in the movie Don't Look Up. That's kind of like
I've
that's
never
the exact
seen
same.
it. It is kind of it is similar.
It's a way more extreme version of like what actually happened. Like just downplaying this very real threat that's gonna come and destroy the world.
Climate change. The climate change in reality is a thing.
Yep, and they're like, nah,
that's
dude.
connecting to this.
There's a lot of stuff in the real world,
but nobody's using climate change as a reason to conspire against somebody's political. I mean, you're using it as a political issue.
Yeah.
Against your opponent.
Well, you know another big one. This is super annoying when white people deny that there's white privilege. Like, well, what rights do I have that they don't? It's not about
Holocaust
rights.
denying.
Like, it's not about right. It's similar, and that's coming. Like, I'm a white dude.
Denying
I recognize it.
The things that Hitler did,
right?
To Jewish people and otherwise.
There are people that deny that. Like it
there
happened.
are Holocaust deniers in real life.
Do they? Well, I guess if there's any big thing, there's always going to be people that don't believe that it happened. You could literally be in a rainstorm and say, yo, it's raining, and there'd be somebody that's like, no, this isn't, it's just a mist, it's not raining. And because you gotta have a debate. they thrive on debates and disagreements. What is it?
I found it.
You found the meme?
Oh, that's an ad.
Oh yeah.
Stop it. Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help. Thank you, Michael.
Words of wisdom.
Thanks, Mike.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right. Thanks, MJ. Appreciate that.
Hey, there's truth to that.
This episode brought to you by Michael Jordan.
Stop it. Get some help.
It's so not just. Hey,
I tried to get some. The psychic didn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
I don't need help.
I need somebody to help me beat my meat.
You had to beat my meat.
Yep. Thank you.
Joel showed us that
R.
first.
Kelly. But back to
the show.
Back to this. So Order of the Phoenix is put together. No. Albus, the Dumbledore's Army.
Dumbledore's Army.
Harry really, like, I love his character development because he's never one to just be super outspoken, but in this one he's telling people it's like he gives zero fucks at this point.
By the time they get to that meeting at the Hog's Head, which is the bar where we don't know this yet, Dumbledore's brother runs it, Aberforth.
Ah, yes.
Hog's
Spoiler
Head.
for the
Spoiler alert.
But they meet. Everybody's in.
And then
not everybody.
He's just got to the point where he's like, listen, guys, I'm telling you the truth. I'm not like, I'm tired of having people not believe me, not listen to me. It is what it is. And like, you guys don't know what it's like. Daniel Radcliffe gives a really good performance in this movie, but it's also kind of annoying just because of the angstiness. You know what I mean? You know, it's a good performance, but it's still annoying the way he reacts to certain things.
Well, yeah, he walks in there. I thought it was pretty out of character. He walks in there and he goes, I'm just going to be straight with you guys. I'm trying to help you, motherfucker. And they're all like, oh.
Can I just get my groceries?
We're just trying to have a drink. He's like, oh, sorry.
Can I just pay for my groceries?
No.
John Goodman?
John Goodman.
The guy who says that sounds like John Goodman.
Oh, does he?
I think he does.
Sure. All right, I'll have to listen to it again.
But
yeah,
there's
it's
that
really
one
cool how he
sick kid who's
steps up.
like, oh, yes, I agree with you.
What one sick kid? With the long hair?
The sick kid who's like, well, maybe if he could explain more about how Cedric died. And it's like, hey, you trying to have someone relive that trauma? Come on, man.
I'm going to do the unforgivable curse on you.
It's like, you want him to give you write a chapter about it? Like, come on.
I'm going to unforgivable curse you right now. I'll go to prison. Either shut the fuck up or listen the fuck in.
And that is traumatic. If you look think about it, like realistically, if you saw something like that and you were in the presence of like 5-10 dark wizards, even more, and the dark Lord Voldemort.
And if nobody's believing
and you fought him.
Yeah, and beat him. Well, you didn't beat him, but you got away with a lot of help.
How do you explain away the Triwizard Tournament and how they appeared with the port key? Cedric's dead. Are they going to say Harry? Are they going to smear Harry and say that he killed
that he's
Cedric?
Back, but if they
say it, then it becomes real.
Exactly. That's why I never say that my team is definitely going to win, because if I say it, they won't. But little side thing. Remember last
Green Bay
movie? Yeah, remember last movie when I was like, "Oh, there's a deleted scene where Snape hits Ron with a book." It was in this movie, and it wasn't deleted. He smacks him with a book. I love that.
It's kind of it's totally different when you get into that section where, you know, McGonagall and Umbridge are having words with each other on the stairs.
And McGonagall's about to slice her.
And they're like, and during the performance, they're like climbing the steps to like be taller than the other. Did you notice that?
No,
yes,
but now that you say that,
Dolores. There are many things I would like to say.
She's great. Not in it very much, but when she is,
what's the actress's name?
Maggie Smith.
Maggie Smith is fantastic.
Dame Maggie Smith.
Fantastic as McGonagall, always.
Another really cool moment, just kind of like a chills moment, is when Hermione actually says Voldemort. Like, she even, the confidence in her to say that, to show, like, guys, listen, this is real, and we got to defeat this Voldemort.
What does she say in the other movie? Fear of the name only...
Fear itself. Something.
Fear of the name only increases the fear of the thing itself, or something like that.
And then here she is not saying it. But she says it. But the DA is really cool. It moves real fast. Like, it takes place over several months. But because it's a movie, you can't... you got to kind of speed that up.
That's kind of a silly sequence.
But they get the Patronuses, like, super
I know, and I said it took Harry a quarter of the movie
tries
to figure that out. And these guys are conjuring
little rodents and
little
stuff.
Little bunnies, and Shrek. Cute little bunnies.
Yeah.
And
there's an otter. What is Ron's?
Otter.
What's Ron's?
I don't know what Ron's is.
Oh, it's a dog. It's some sort of dog. I remember from the book. They don't talk about it on the fucking... But just the development of Harry as a professor, like this, taking on a leadership role and being good at it, like finally doing something with his name.
His role as a teacher kind of annoyed me.
Didn't me.
I don't. Maybe
Didn't
that's
me.
wrong, but
It is.
It just annoyed me the way that he was doing it.
You can even see like the way his clothes progress. He's starting to look like a teacher, like that cool teacher. Like, hey, Cho, you want to make out after your class?
Yeah, making out with the teacher.
Right in front of your
yeah.
dead boyfriend's picture while he looks at us and
Right.
just goes,
That
"Get
ain't
it.
right.
Harry, you have my blessing."
Mistletoe, you know, it's what are they saying? It can kill you if you
I don't know.
eat it.
Sure.
The quote from Batman Returns
I
about
don't
the
remember
mistletoe.
that. I remember
you know
this
what they
one
say
where
about
he's
mistletoe?
like, where he's like, it's the Nargles, and she's like, what are the Nargles? And he goes, I have no idea, because he's just in this trance of love. I'll say.
I feel like there's more chemistry between Cho and Harry in this movie than we see, and I could be wrong. I could change my mind when we get in the next 3 movies between him and Ginny.
There is. Ginny is so much better in the book. She has so much more to do. She has so much more to say. This, she's just in the background and she says a couple spells.
This, she just blows stuff up with Reducto.
Right. But she has, like, she makes fun of, like, Ron all the time.
that's
Like,
not
we don't get her character in the movies at all. That's
They give her
one big
well,
thing that I wish they'd have done better is her. It's not the
They
actress.
kind of give her like an underdog role in this movie. Like, oh wow, she's a powerful witch because she look what she did. Like,
let's watch her not do anything for the rest of the series.
And then do you think they should have established some? Like I even kept an eye on Ginny as Hermione said Cho couldn't keep her eyes off of you. Like during the Dumbledore's
I was
Army
watching
scene.
too. She
and
didn't
Ginny,
react.
she kind of did, but it would have been nice if they
Barely.
had her maybe stop and then have a beat on camera.
Yeah.
And that to kind of signify that
Nothing.
she's a little jealous. Like, is there something between Harry and Ginny that sparks in
I don't
this
think
book?
in this one. In the next one,
or how does it
is
naturally
for sure.
occur? I don't know.
I don't know. It's forced.
But I know
so it's
in
not
this
really
book
natural.
that Harry like blows the crap up at Cho
Yeah, they didn't show that
in
here.
the little teak parlor, whatever, and she starts crying again because of Cedric. And then Harry's like, "Why are you crying? Like, quit crying about Cedric. Like, do
He's
you want
dead,
to be in a
son."
relationship with me? Whatever." He gets mad. He gets
Yeah.
angry with
It's
her.
Voldemort.
I remember that part vividly.
And then he
Or
comes
not
back and he's like,
vividly, but it stands
hey, yikes. Sorry. That was Voldemort speaking. He was kind of in and out of my head.
I thought the
whole
scene where he screamed at Dumbledore was very well done, too.
All of his yelling in this is pretty decent. I don't think any of it's overacted.
No.
It's very good, I think.
Good
it's very
performance.
good. Yes.
Umbridge, as much as we hate her,
Great performance.
dislike her, the performance is really, really on point.
Yeah, she's great.
Her face isn't as toady as it's described in the
No,
book.
and I was talking to Brandon the other day, on Saturday actually, and he said that's one of the things he didn't like about the movie. Like she wasn't, no offense to anybody that looks like a toad, but she wasn't like ugly enough. And I get his point, but I also think it works better if she is more innocent, sweet, older lady.
It contrasts.
Because
a
that
good
contrast, because
contrast.
it's like, why can't you just act like you look like you're a nice person, but you're not? And that's what makes it even more frustrating. And that's what works so well. I think that casting was actually perfect, because you expect somebody that looks like a toad to act like a bleh, but you don't expect somebody that looks like her to act like that. So I think that's works better, because the way that J.K. wrote villains was just, they're kind of all the same. Like, if you're unattractive, that means you're a villain. But if you're attractive, you're a hero. And I think the movies, how they cast
Good point.
people was much
Yeah.
better. Because heroes can be ugly, villains can be attractive. Look at, I don't know.
Neville.
Look at Neville. Gillyweed Neville.
Well, even in this movie, he's
He's still not glowing up yet.
Yes,
I
a little
thought-
bit.
Yeah, but not much.
He kind of reminds me of myself a little bit in this movie.
Give yourself
Just
a
a
little
little
more
bit.
credit
Oh,
than
come
that.
on. No,
You're at least
you
a
remember
Ron.
when Ron and Hermione are getting ready to duel, like do the Protego or Stupefy?
Yeah.
And there's that little bit where Neville's like walking in the middle and he's like, oh, sorry. And then he walks out. I was like, okay, I kind of like that. It adds to the awkwardness.
Yeah, he's fun. He has more of a spotlight in
It
this
would have
one.
been cooler. We get stuff about his parents between him and Harry. When
Yes.
speaking privately. I never told anyone this, but is Bellatrix Lestrange, after we figure out how she broke out of Azkaban, not because of Sirius Black making up crap,
Right.
but we learn more about his parents and the nature of what happened to them, and it would have been cool, not, you know what I mean, if we if we went to St. Mungo's and saw, like, in the flesh how it affected them. But would that have given the movie a darker rating? I don't, you know what?
No,
For things like
you
that, I
can
don't really
do it
care.
better.
Like, be truer to the, like, about
that's
making
important.
Voldemort look scarier, making him look like a snake. Do it. It's
HBO
true to the
series,
book.
dude.
Don't do, like, try to keep it slightly innocent to get those younger audiences. The movies, the people that saw the original movie are getting older.
Yeah, we grow with the movies.
books.
We grow
and
with the
movies. So mature with the audience.
Yeah, please. The books definitely did. Come on, Warner Brothers, if that is your real name.
But that would have been nice to see, the St. Mungo. And you would have gotten a Kenneth Branagh
Yeah, a
cameo.
little cameo. That would have been great. I want to talk about Luna for a minute because she's just so like spacey,
Wisdom.
but she has some of the best lines. Like it's almost like she doesn't even realize that she's giving really good advice, but she just does it because that's what my mother always told me. Oh, and I'm here, and all my shoes are gone, but they'll turn up in the end. All the things do. A penny saved is only but 1 cent in your hand.
A sickle saved is a galleon earned.
And 100 more is $1. Quibbler! Quibbler! No, she's great, though. The performance is great. She's
do a good
perfect. She's really good. She's really good. And I love her scene with Harry in with the Thestrals.
Yeah.
And how she talks about her mom.
Well, that's something they share.
And how, like, well, if I were Voldemort, I'd want you to feel alone, like you have nobody. And that's like she's
There's
just
such a-
spitting knowledge, dude. And
There's
Harry's
such a
like,
theme.
oh,
That's true. Like, I do like that moment about he would want you to feel alone. So, and then in the next scene, he goes to the Great Hall and is like, "Can I join you to sit with
Yeah.
my friends?"
Hey, sorry guys.
There's a theme of motherhood, obviously, in all these movies,
Mhm.
but this one, it's very prevalent. You got Sirius talking about his mother and how she basically disowned him.
Yep.
You have
Made a
Harry
good
in the
guy.
situation with his parents and his mother. You
Who's
have,
dead.
yeah, and you have,
But he longs to
see her again. The Mirror of Erised. You have Luna having witnessed her mother pass in an accident with an experiment, magic experiment. Molly Weasley,
You're right. And then there's even like the bad
Voldemort's mother.
Yep. And then there's like Umbridge is like the bad evil stepmother, coming in and try to.
We learn more about Voldemort's mom in the books, but not in the movies.
Yeah.
She created a love potion.
She did.
For
I remember that.
Tom Riddle. So it wasn't legitimate love. It was manufactured.
Fake.
And that's why...
It's like his nose.
Probably why he's so screwed up, Voldemort, Tom Riddle, like psychologically.
Yes.
And he hates his own heritage, really. But it's interesting. Sirius is kind of like that, where his mother was a mud-hated half-breeds, as they call them.
Yeah, but
yet he
rose
broke out
above
of
it.
that cycle.
Yep, rose above it, which you can do. You can get out of those situations. It's all up to you. It's a dog.
The dog.
I also... Fred and George, how they just kind of go all out. Yeah, there she is sniffing. Fun moment. A little better in the book. But Grop, we meet him. He's a giant.
Cut him out.
I mean, we gotta have him because he shows up later.
Does he? In the movie, he does. But
in the book, he comes back.
but for the purposes of the movie,
I mean, yeah, they kind of You're right. I thought he played a bigger
and I'm
role.
not trying to browbeat you.
No, you're kind of right.
Into agreeing with me. I just don't think they could. That's one of the things I spoke about at the beginning.
Of all the things they cut out,
could have
they
cut
left
out
him in.
Grop because he doesn't really add anything to
Not
the
in
plot.
this one. No,
And I don't even think he shows up in Deathly Hallows
I feel
as an
like he
ally.
does. I don't know, but there's more about him. Like he grows, like physically. Like I think they talk about how he's grown bigger, stronger. I don't remember, but we'll see. Yeah, Dolores is the line when she's like, "Here, tell them I mean no harm," and he's like, "Sorry, but I must not tell lies." And then just boom, they take her away, and apparently don't do much to her because she lives. She gets suspended from her job.
I'm surprised they didn't kill
They're
her
pretty quick on that.
after what she did.
Yeah, you'd think they
Well,
would.
that
Why
spell
not?
she launched on that one centaur.
With the
They
choking
could
him.
see. That's what I'm saying. Well, this is going into Act 3 stuff with her in the forest.
Oh yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
do you want to jump into that?
One thing I wanted to mention earlier, I got started with it, but then when we started talking about something else, there's such a tonal difference between when that whole sequence of the Ministry encroaching on Hogwarts and the way that they have done things and the way that their curriculum, they teach, that sort of thing. Like the whole montage sequence before it leads to Trelawney getting kicked out.
Yeah.
Things at Hogwarts are far worse than I feared.
Oh, I hate her.
Fudge would want to know about this. And it's like, okay, she is a brown noser for Fudge.
We knew that. But fitting that his name is Fudge.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Okay.
Why would she name
And she has
him
a picture
Fudge?
of him on her
What he
desk.
doesn't know won't hurt him.
Yeah.
Perhaps the Crusaders cares? I'm like, yo, this bish.
Bish.
Like she...
There's like happy music playing during that sequence
Well, yeah,
when
there's
they're
cats and
hammering
stuff.
the Inquisitorial Squad stuff on the Filch.
Yeah,
and
they're
Filch
not-
has just got turned into a joker.
He is loving it though. Like, ha ha, you kids.
I know, like knocking the painting people out, like pouring them
they
out.
can't just come back in. I do not
No,
understand
I don't
how
know.
paintings
But
work.
why did they take the paintings off the wall? Why?
Because
what is
those-
the purpose?
Because they can talk.
No. If they want, well, I guess that is. But here's a better reason why. They were making space for more rules. And that would have been even cooler to see. Not just the Great Wall outside the Great Hall,
Yeah.
but also show them like in a fade in and out sequence of more orders being
Where do they go?
hammered onto the staircase in replacement of the portraits, the talking portraits. That would really show nailed, like drove in
Yeah.
how they're
Umbridge
encroaching
is
on
kind of
the school.
The Wizard World version of the Dursleys all wrapped in one. She's all three of them. Ugh,
She cares more about her career, I think. That's the way they played in the movie. And she gets pretty bad too in Deathly Hallows, which she does come back.
yeah, she does. Unfortunately.
And I remember in the book she was at Dumbledore. Oh, we're not talking about that yet.
Nope.
Up, whip, whoop. What Infinity Stone?
What? What? I
No
never
way.
that.
You
No.
don't know.
Have you ever seen? This is a sidebar, but when you said what? No way. You remember that show To Catch a Predator?
Yes.
For those of you that don't know, it was a show hosted by, I cannot remember his name. Fudge. No,
Ryan?
not Fudge. Yeah.
Fudge.
Well, this
Cornelius
guy
Fudge.
who the show, these people would, reality show, would find these like pedophiles, these sexual predators who were like on some like a chat room, trying to lure either like a young girl or a young boy in and to do sexual with them. So like they would pose as a young.
That's not funny.
And
the way
no.
you said it was funny.
But then, so they have it staged up. It's a sting operation. The pedophile comes over to the house, is greeted with a young person, and then they're like, "Oh, just one sec. Yeah, set your stuff in.
Williams.
Well, I gotta go." Yep, Brian Williams.
No, not
yeah,
Brian.
It's Brian.
No, it's
yes,
a different
it is.
one.
No, it's not. It's Brian.
Okay.
I think.
It's Brian.
Look it up.
It's Brian.
Look it up while I'm talking.
To Catch a Predator.
Yeah, To Catch a Predator. And he... Yeah, so the person goes in. It's a sting operation to catch pedophiles.
You know a lot about this.
Because there are clips where these guys are just... Anyway.
I know.
There's one clip. This guy, he comes in.
Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen. Wow, we were way off.
Brian.
Jeez. Brian Williams.
The fucking Beach Boys?
It's Herbie Hancock. But, so he's hiding out, and then he'll come out and he'll be like, "Hey, have a seat. So what were you going to do?" And I was going to have some cookies and watch movies. Like, well, and the way when you were chatting with her, you said you wanted to show her your dick. Why would you say that? Oh, I was just joking with her. These don't sound like jokes. Are you username sexy lick lick 69? Yeah, I was. You were trying to.
Glad you came up with that just then. If Joel listening to this, he's probably laughing his ass off.
But anyway, that's the premise. But there is this one guy
Sexy,
going back
sexy
to what,
lick lick.
going back.
Is that what you name your lick-a-tongue?
No. Going back to my original, what reminded me, there's this one where there's this guy. It's one of the best sound bites of reality TV ever. So he comes in, they have cookies to make it really hide it, and they have no idea. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll have some cookies," and he takes a cookie, and then Brian Williams Hansen comes out, and he goes, "Hey," and even then he still doesn't get. He's like, "Hey, what you doing?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, these are good cookies. Yeah." He's like, "So what were you going to do?" And he talks all calm. He's like, "Oh, we're just going to go to the beach." And he goes, she was 15. And he goes, "What? No way." Like trying, they know. And they're trying to play it off like he didn't know. And he's like, you know what? I don't even want this cookie anymore. And so then they leave the house and they get, the police are there to take him in. But anyway, what? No way.
No way.
He goes, "What? No way." So look that up. Clip that in if you want. What? No
way.
I thought we were just... No.
Sexy lick lick.
Anyway.
Should
we move to Act 3?
Thank you for that.
That's... Yeah.
I guess we can.
All right.
One more thing.
Sure.
The Sirius and the fire effect was way better in Goblet of Fire than it was in this one.
I liked it better in Goblet, yeah, because it's like he was the
He
fire.
was part of in the ashes of the fireplace, the embers, I should say. Now this one, he's just like an after effect on top of the flames.
Yeah, that just flickers in there.
And I did not like it.
Maybe Gary Oldman was like, "Hey, you got to put my real face in there."
I didn't want to get in front of a camera and go like,
I'm fired.
I'm on fire.
So yeah, Sirius, he thinks we find out, Voldemort is just playing with his mind. Harry doesn't learn the occlumency.
He says, "Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that."
Well,
we can talk briefly about it.
Harry goes inside
Discipline your mind.
Harry, look, Snape is kind of not helping the situation, but Harry sees that his dad was actually kind of
an
dick.
ass. Yeah. And now it kind of hopefully gave him a little empathy for Severus Snape. But I never understood until recently how the spell backfired, the Legilimens, which, is that a spell? Because Queenie doesn't ever do that in Fantastic Beasts.
No, Harry...
She can do it just by doing it.
Harry uses... Oh, yeah? Harry
He uses Protego, which is the rebounding spell, which is what I find. I was like, okay, now it makes sense that he was able to do that.
In the book, they make it more point. I don't know what book it is, but they talk about like doing curses and spells without saying them.
Yes.
I wish they had
that's very
talked about
advanced.
that, and I don't remember what.
Well, that's another thing in the book. Apparating. They have a whole like section about learning how to apparate with like the ropes.
That's the next one.
The ropes turn.
They can't learn that yet.
That's
Only
in
Fred and
Order of the
George
Phoenix,
can.
though.
Are you sure?
I think it is.
I think it's in the next one.
Because there's a whole thing with McGonagall teaching them how to do that.
They can't teach. They're not old enough yet.
And then I
in
think
this book.
Oh, I guess
so they
not.
can't.
But McGonagall is the one that talks to them about like
McGonagall.
It's an advanced technique to be able to cast spells without uttering the
and boy,
incantation.
Harry, he like that's why
they
he's
do
not
it like
good. Like the
lickety
Death
split in
Eaters,
the next movies.
The Death Eaters are all they're like, oh, you're gonna use that. I guess we know how to block it because he's just stupefy. And he's it's like he's using his
stupefy.
He's like Oprah. You're gonna stupefy. You're gonna stupefy. Everybody gets Expelliarmus and a Crucio curse. But it's like he's using a turn signal in a high-speed chase. Oh, they're never gonna catch me. Yeah, they are.
That's good.
You're letting them know.
That's good.
All right, let's go to Act 3. Want to?
Oh wait, one more thing. I don't want to keep us lingering on 2. There's a really good scene when Harry. You talked about it a little bit when Harry's talking to Sirius, and there's a really good message in there about like I'm afraid I'm turning bad.
Oh yeah.
Like, what if I'm turning bad? Like I feel angry all the time and I don't know why. He's like, listen, I want you to listen. Like really, I can't say it as good as he said it, but just like it's not. All of us have light and dark inside. Yep. It's what we decide to act on that determines who we are.
It's not who I am what it is. It's what I do that defines me.
It's kind of like Star Wars, though, when you think
Batman
of it, too.
comes in. Oh, yeah, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, hey, buddy, you're not in the...
I'm a long-lost planet.
What? I mean, our accents make it pretty darn hard to understand what we're saying. But you're not even trying.
Trying. Oscar Isaac's got a pretty good British accent.
He does.
Stupefy. Is there any curses where bats fly out of your wine?
I think there is. There's a booger bat curse.
A booger bat?
That...
In the book?
In the book, yeah. Not this one. Maybe this one. I don't know.
You've got to mean it, Harry. She killed him. She deserves it. You know the spell, Harry. Do it! So weak.
It was foolish of you to come here tonight, Tom. The orders are on their way.
By which time I shall be gone. And you shall be dead.
After getting caught trying to use the flu network in Umbridge's office, Hermione improvises to get Dolores to the Forbidden Forest. Wow, that's kind of a rhyme. And Grop
kind of
gives her to the Centaurs after a badass line from Harry declaring he can't tell lies after she says she means no harm. The crew is joined by Luna, Neville, and Ginny, and they take flight with the Thestrals to London to save Sirius at the Ministry. When they arrive, they find the Prophecy Orb Room and they find the one with Harry's name, and they get ambushed by Lucius Malfoy and some other Death Eaters. Bellatrix is there. They fight back, and they escape. They're ready for it. They come to a room with an archway of whispering voices that only Harry and Luna can hear. A lot of connection between those two. The Death Eaters return and take hostages and threaten to kill if Lucius doesn't get the prophecy. Harry gives it to him, but hold the phone because enter, and this gets me hyped, man. Enter Sirius Black with a punch to the face of Malfoy, and the Order of the Phoenixes enter the battle. And it's good versus evil. Sirius Black and Harry side by side. Death Eaters versus Order of the Phoenix. And spells are flying with the smoke. Here at the Ministry is floating to and fro. From the corner of the room, Lupin gives a stun to an unnamed Death Eater, who promptly passes the task to the next, but Tonks makes short work of him. Sirius does some magnificent wand twirling with his signature move from the Sirius Stunner. From the top ropes, his street-style wand waving has become a staple in the ring, and an iconic technique many try to replicate. Look at the mastery coming out of his wand. And here comes Harry with a stun spell to the chops of a Death Eater, sending him flying off the stage, leaving only Lucius to fend for himself. Another Death Eater tries to flee like the British on the day of the Boston Tea Party. It's a heavyweight bout, and here comes Moody making light work of him, pounding his staff on the ground, causing a mini earthquake and shattering any hopes of Death Eater victory. Bellatrix makes her way to the Raptors in a cloud of smoke just as savvy veteran Kingsley Shacklebolt takes out another, but the big blow to the Order comes when Harry delivers his go-to Expelliarmus and Sirius takes care of Lucius Malfoy, but immediately gets Avada Kedavra into the Veil of the Unknown. I don't know how they'll recover from this, but Harry powers up and pursues Bellatrix, giving her a taste of hatred with a swift Cruciatus curse. But it's not very effective because he didn't truly mean it. And what's this? Oh, I don't believe it. The Dark Lord himself. He who must not be named. Tom Riddle in the flesh. Voldemort. The lights go down as all hope seems to be lost for Potter. But no, it's Albus Percival Wilfrid Brian Dumbledore. And the main event is set. Dumbledore versus Voldemort. The battle of the century. Voldy strikes first with a green stream and some mean words, but Dumbledore counters with a nice red stream and calmness. The sparks fly, and the wand lava flows as neither side budges an inch to the other's attack. From his bag of tricks, Voldy pulls the fire breather technique to summon a giant fire snake, but is met with another masterful counter by Albus with the water ball spell, and this could be it for Voldy. He can't breathe. This snake is no more. But in desperation time, he pulls the move we never thought possible. The Snake Charmer's possession. He's taking control of Harry, trying to defeat Dumbledore and Potter from the inside, but little does he know, Harry has the power of friendship and love and spits him right back out. Not today, you parcel-tongued, pale-skinned, no-nose-having, loveless, spineless, heartless, bald-headed son of a bitch. The Minister and his crew finally come to end the battle, and the fight goes to the judges' scorecard, where Voldemort gets defeated by unanimous decision. What a heavyweight pound-for-pound battle of two sides wanting the same thing. This will go down in history, folks. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to our sponsors, Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes, Gringotts Bank, The Quibbler, all the folks with continued support from the Order of the Phoenix, the Three Broomsticks, and the amazing people at Comcast Wizards and Witches divisions. When you need a signal and customer support, call us and wait on hold for 3 hours, but be reminded of how important the call is to us, Xfinity Comcast. And thank you to our audience and my co-host Christian. From the Ministry of Magic, this is Spencer King saying farewell and good spell. Dumbledore debriefs Harry, explaining why he distanced himself from him. He was just trying to protect him. Harry finds Luna looking for her stuff people have stolen, and then traditional send-off with friends on the train ends the movie. So,
could you repeat that?
No, I cannot. I cannot repeat that. No, but sidebar. That's gonna really. I was typing that with a gamer keyboard in my office.
And what is so special about that?
It's really loud.
Okay.
So it was just like because I just you've heard them.
I have. Yep.
Good battle. Good fight. Good night.
But I'll say, It could have been better.
Oh, yeah, it could have been much longer.
Well, that's...
Voldemort and Dumbledore's
That's what...
fight in the book is way better.
Oh, man.
As with most things.
This is the first time, I think, where we get where it's underwhelming. This happens multiple times. This is the first time. But, I think it only happens like maybe twice. But these key moments of conflict between Harry and Voldemort and Dumbledore and so on, they're kind of been botched in the movie.
Yeah, it could have had a lot more weight. I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong.
It is
the
cool.
Fight's sweet, and just like when the order comes in,
but
and you're seeing all these people fighting.
That can't be the go-to with every single battle. Is to just have wands locking and then have like.
Yeah, but what else? What are you gonna? I mean, what are you gonna?
Like, I want to see use some spells, like
knock them down,
Get back up again. Corpus, do it.
Try to Avada Kedavra him. Why didn't he go with that? He had Harry dead to rights.
Maybe Albus could have like swung the spell around and thrown it back at him, and then it could have been. It would have been cool to see more use of spells and choreography with the wands.
Like what they
what
did.
Sirius did. That was awesome.
His wand choreography and technique
beautiful.
Is awesome.
Yes.
Because it is that, I think I was reading a thing, it's more of a street style fighting. Like if you look at it fighting, like he's more of a, like, not as refined, but it works for him. And everybody else is more like by the book with the wand flicks. And then you get Bellatrix holding her wand up above her head, like that's her style. And in the book, she does not kill him with Avada Kedavra. She kills him with a stunning spell, and he gets knocked back in that veil.
Oh, that would have been... See, that's what's so tragic about it.
Is that it wasn't even a killing curse.
Because it almost, when you think of it, it kind of would be a symbol for how quickly people...
just go.
You love can be taken.
Yeah.
Like, just without... like a tragic accident or something
like a freak accident.
Yes. One moment they're there and the next moment they're not. And that would have been fitting if you wanted to do that theme in the movie with him getting stunned and knocked into the veil and then being what happened. Like the audience would be just like, what happened?
Right, it would be more of a shock.
Yes.
But instead we hear her say about it, it was like, oh, okay, well, he's dead.
And then he gets hit. And
we know that kills you.
Yeah. You could say he was dead before he fell into the veil in the movie. Whereas in the book, it's a lot more tragic.
When I first read the book, I didn't even realize it happened. Because it happened so fast. And I had to like go back. And I was young, so my reading comprehension wasn't like it is now. But I'm going through, I'm like, wait, what veil? I missed the veil. What veil? Because I missed it when they first brought it up. Mm-hmm. But that's how it should have been in here. Make that veil mean something instead of just, oh, he fell in it after he died.
Well, even in the veil, it's not even like what it is in the movie. It's like a tapestry almost, and it's like a cloth.
Yes.
And you like there's like a wind, it's and the cloth like moves.
Mm-hmm. And then Harry looks in there and it's nothing. In the book, I think.
You can't come out once you cross through.
I'll just... best moment in this movie has to be when Harry has a nice move and Sirius gives him the old, nice one, James!
I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh, I love it. Because
that's perfectly fine.
Like, it's just such a... Because he sees his dad in him so much in that moment that he calls him James without even thinking. Because it's like he's fighting side by side with his best friend again.
I get that. Yep. I got it.
And like when he came in, he's like, leave my god, or what does he say? Leave my...
Get away from my
get away from my
godson.
godson. And then just punches, you know what? I don't need my wand for this. Just punches him in the face. I'm like, yes! Give me some of that. Also, Luna gets her face destroyed.
Yeah,
and
she gets
looks
punched in the
badass with
face.
that blood in her mouth. Man,
There's
doesn't even faze her.
There was an article I read about like the 10 cringiest lines in the Harry Potter series. And that one was one of them. The nice one, James.
How is that cringy?
Because the author was saying that they would have liked for it to be more representative of the relationship that Harry and Sirius had. Not,
I think it is.
Not have Harry be like a surrogate for James. Like to have him almost seeing James and Harry and not respecting the relationship that him and Harry had instead of him and James.
I think whoever wrote that is completely wrong because it shows.
It's all just opinions.
It shows a tremendous amount of connect with.
I don't know how I feel about it yet, but I'm
them.
kind of maybe leaning on your side
because James was his best friend,
right?
And when it's like an honor for Harry, I think.
Like you're like your father,
and that's all he wants. He wants to be like him.
Yeah.
So when he says that, in the heat of the moment, it's just like, okay,
and,
maybe I can be.
Maybe I do agree with you because then up to this point we've been getting a lot. Well, we've been focusing on the relationship between Harry and his mother in a positive way, whereas James kind of gets sidelined in almost a more negative connotation because Snape is always like, your father was this, your father was that.
Which we saw he kind of was. But
now we kind of have a more positive connotation about James with Sirius and Harry.
And the line that they took out of the movie, but it's in the book, the Canti Potter. I guess this makes up for it because the nice one, James, isn't in the book, but it's in the movie. So it's like they traded. Wish they could have had them both. But I can't remember. Was that added? Was that improvised by Gary Oldman?
I don't.
Nice one, James. Know. Or was it just added?
It may have been
to the movie, but not the book. I don't know.
I still love that wand choreography. I think the same guy that did the lightsaber choreography did the wand choreography for the prequels.
Which is nice because then each wizard gets their own style. It's not just pointing.
I just love how like the defense spells are just like they're always like a weight, like a whisk in front of you, like.
And it's almost like he's being, like he knows he's gonna take him down. Like he's not even trying, just kind of nonchalant, just.
I love
and
that.
You're done.
He does
Peace
that
out.
like that, and then he does the like under the arm.
So cool.
It is cool.
It's like when you're playing street ball. You know, you got the guys that they can do all the stuff.
Ball style.
Down ball. It's kind of it is. It's like style points is what it is. Like, yeah, it's gonna work if you just do a generic flick of the wrist, but
you may not like him.
But
Sirius has got style.
He's got him on the ropes. So now it's almost like he's just showing off. Like a little bit of arrogance comes out, like haha, and now I got you. So it's like when you get a fast break in basketball and nobody's around you. You're not just gonna lay it in. You're gonna do a windmill dunk or something cool for the crowd. And he's just doing that. He's playing. He knows he's gonna defeat him. Add a little flavor. And Moody, when he
barely has
staff.
Big deal. That was stupid.
That was cool though. Just
Moody used earthquake.
Yeah,
it's super effective.
I wish they'd have shown more of the Order fighting because we just barely see any of them. We see them get there, and then just kind of in the background. I would have loved to have had this battle last a little longer.
Well, this leads me to my next point. Going backwards a little bit. Oh, I almost got to sneeze. Hold on. Holding on.
Well, you're sneezing. They cut out a big part at the very end of the movie. And probably fine, but Harry is like trying to... He's like just still in shock that Sirius is dead. So he's like, wait. And it's almost more gut-wrenching because he gets this little bit of hope like, hey, ghosts are real. Maybe I can still see him if he comes back as a ghost. So he goes and talks to Nearly Headless Nick and he's like, hey, how do you become a ghost? Do you die? Like, can you just everybody? And he's like, no, that's not how it works. Like, he's gone. That's not how it works. And then to add insult to injury, Sirius gave him a mirror.
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, a mirror that he could have seen him whenever. But Harry, for some reason, he never opens it. And it gets broken, I think.
In his trunk?
Is it, or does he like break it out of anger at some point?
I think he
gets
does
mad
break
at
it out of
Sirius,
anger.
which makes it even worse because he finally opens it, and like he could have seen him a lot more. Yeah, it's a bummer because Sirius had the other mirror, and it was like a two-way. It was like a visual walkie-talkie. It was like FaceTiming, and that it just made it a little bit more heart-wrenching. In the book, of course, they don't talk about that in the movie.
No, they didn't have the mirror at all in the movie.
No,
but you see it in the next movie.
Is it the next one or the next one?
The next one.
All right, I believe you. But yeah,
What?
Luna. They do end on Luna.
Oh, whoa, wait.
Oh yeah, you were what?
That brought me to this point.
Yeah.
Crap.
Go ahead.
Hold on, I lost my train of thought. Let me get back on here. Hold on a second.
Did you notice that Neville uses the same spell that Hermione used on him in Sorcerer's Stone?
Petrificus Total. Ooh, ring
It's like,
theory.
yeah,
Hello.
I know this one. I'm going to use it on somebody else now. Petrificus Totalis. That's his teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I think he gets hot in the next one, right?
He gets hot. He gets better looking progressively.
Yeah, but in
objectively.
the next one, I think it's when he's like, there. Like Hermione's like, yo, Ron, give me
Yeah,
Neville.
just when you're talking about the mirror, it just made me think when you're dealing with family members or loved ones who pass on. Sometimes you can't have those moments where you think, well, I wish we could have done this. I wish I would have looked at this sooner. I wish we would have done this sooner. I wish I would have said this. I wish I would.
Yeah.
That kind of ties in to what Harry did with the mirror, if you're correct in him breaking it out of anger and then saying, oh, I wish I didn't do that because now I can't see him physically anymore or speak to him. Just take that as a lesson to respect and value and cherish the time that you have with your friends and family and your loved ones now.
Yeah, like if
you're going to want those moments.
You are. Like my mom calls me a lot, and sometimes like it's not in an ideal time because it can get kind of annoying. Like, oh, she's just calling. Like I just sent her a picture, so she has to call to talk about the picture. And at first I was like, but now I've gotten to, if I can, I always answer it. Even I already know what she's calling me for, and even if it is an annoying reason, I'm going to answer the phone because there's going to be a day when I'm not going to get calls from her anymore. So, what I'm saying is, if a family member calls, just answer it.
I know.
Because you don't know when the last call you're going to get from them is. So just
I know what you're
call.
talking about.
Right. Like just answer the call. Just talk. It's a 1-minute conversation. Hey, yup.
And you're going to think
funny.
back on that and say, I'm glad I picked up the phone. I'm glad I did that.
Like I keep voicemails. I keep text messages from people.
Like it might be annoying at the time. Like, oh, why I don't.
But you're gonna look back and maybe laugh at it.
I'm glad you're gonna be grateful that you took that call.
Because even if it's not for you, you're answering it. They're calling because they want to talk to you for whatever reason. And like I said, with my mom specifically, it most of the time is just a quick. Like she just wants to see what we're doing, whatever. And it's like fine. Sure. Here's 2 minutes. This is what we're doing. You're fine. I'll let you be nosy. It's okay.
Don't wait until it's too late.
Right.
To do those things, because then you're going to be saying, "I wish I would have done those things," instead of thinking back. Oh, we did do that thing, and it was a fantastic time.
Yeah.
Value that.
Value
those relationships and the time you have with them.
I get why they cut it out of the movie, because that would have kind of dragged the ending on, and I don't know. There probably could have been.
But then the broken mirror just shows up for no good reason.
True. I wonder if
Later.
it was ever a deleted scene. Like, I would have liked to have seen him talk to nearly headless Nick. Hey,
Me too.
can we do this?
Just as an aside.
Couldn't do it.
Or
But
at
I
least
do-
kind of surrogate that scene with nearly headless with Dumbledore.
Yeah, like, well, Harry kind of seems like he's over it pretty quick.
Well,
Talking to
whoa.
Dumbledore, and he's like, no, you don't know it's my... And Dumbledore's like, look, I knew that he was going to try to see through you, so I thought if I just distance myself, that would protect you, so we wouldn't get information about stuff. Turns out I was wrong, and Harry was like, you don't know what I've been through. And he goes, I do. I'm Dumbledore. I do know what's going on. Thanks.
And he kind of does.
He knows
With his
everything.
sister.
He does, which we learn later.
And Grindelwald.
Mm-hmm.
In a different sort of way.
Yep.
But there is something that helps him kind of, quote unquote, get, you mentioned he kind of thought he got over it pretty quickly. There's something that he talks to, Luna.
He does.
For a little bit about finding her stuff.
Things always find a way back to us in the end. I'm going to go have some pudding.
And that's a metaphor for your loved ones.
It is, and
Coming
I think
back to
he
you in the
internalized
end, or
that.
you
Was like, you
coming
know what?
back to them. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll meet again in another life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's a good... look.
I'm not
ready.
sure I liked his corny line at the end.
What was his
There's one thing we have that Voldemort doesn't.
Oh yeah.
Something to fight for. And
I wonder what the last line in the book is.
And his scar had not hurt for 19 years. All was well.
The Lost Prophecy. That's not the last chapter. The Second War Begins.
That's the last chapter.
No, it is not. Yes, it is.
Okay.
No, you're wrong. Just kidding.
No, you're wrong. Yes, I'm right. No, I'm
We'll
wrong.
see you soon, mate, said Ron anxiously, shaking Harry's hand. Really soon, Harry, said Hermione earnestly. We promise. Harry nodded. He somehow could not find words to tell them what it meant to him, to see them all ranged there on his side. Instead, he smiled, raised the hand in farewell, turned around, and led the way out of the station toward the sunlit street, with Uncle Vernon, Aunt Petunia, and Dudley hurrying along in his wake. I think I would have
love
preferred that.
ending.
I would have preferred that.
I love that ending.
This ending is too Hollywood, which yeah, it was a Hollywood movie, but give us him going like back to the reality. Okay, that's right. He still does have to go back there. Like that's I want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
We always see him at the beginning. We never see him at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like they cut them out of a very important sentimental thing in the last movie that really makes me mad.
Oh,
we'll talk about that.
I
in a
know
minute.
exactly what you're talking about too. Is it?
Yep. No, well, I don't know what you just did, but yeah, a fortune cookie.
No.
I don't know.
Creature, go make me a sandwich.
No, that's not what I was talking. I was talking about with the Dursleys specifically.
Oh,
there's
never
a
mind.
big old moment that they just didn't. But
that's in a deleted
it's
scene.
a cookie cutter ending.
Well, his friends are behind him, and he's leading the pack, and we'll fight for him.
I wish he
What?
didn't have a line. I wish he didn't have the last line. Just, hey, mate, we'll be there. Yup, we will, we promise. And then he just smiles, sees you, and then walks off with his fuckhead family.
I think it would. I like maybe a combination of the two endings would have worked, because in the book it doesn't make it so like oblique, like so dramatic, melodramatic, I guess you would say, like something worth fighting for. Like
right,
we don't
right?
need. It's
Shot
a little
Hogwarts.
dramatic, and it's.
What if he said that as he's walking? We have something fighting for. Hey, what, Harry? We have something worth fighting for. You're too far away. Why didn't you tell us this when you were right next to us? You're walking. We can't. You're something we have worth fighting for. Okay, that's what I would have liked. Like he thinks of something cool to say, as he's already like a mile away or something. I don't know. I'm making fun of it, but yeah, I don't. Now that you say that, I don't like the line either. It's too like
There's something he was calling back to what he said at the end of Goblet of Fire. with the "Don't forget, Harry, you have friends here."
We'll do that.
But some things are worth fighting. Some things worth fighting for are talking about my friends. So you can infer that from there. It's just the line is just too like
on the nose.
It's too on the nose. It's too.
I feel bad for you, or I feel sorry for you.
I don't mind that part.
No, I know. It reminded me of it. What
was I?
I don't know.
Okay. This is what I wanted to mention. Cut out the Grop stuff. Expand the Department of Mysteries stuff.
Yes, because there's a whole lot that happens in the book with different rooms.
Oh my!
And
the different rooms and the brains in the tank and everyone. It's chaos.
Give us that.
We get like 2 minutes of fighting Death Eaters, and all they're doing is wisping by and
Bellatrix laughing in the background.
Yeah.
Licking her tattoo.
You spend all this time teaching the students how to... They do a little bit like Petrificus Totalis, Levi Corpus, which apparently made that Death Eater get blown halfway across the room instead of levitating, like in the Room of Requirement, which we didn't even barely talk about.
Spells are inconsistent.
But I always remember the Lucius. Better now that they're about to be avenged. Oh, well, let's just all calm down.
I really like his performance.
Shall we? I love that. Just give me the prophecy. Oh, I know.
What? I said, I know. Luke, damn it. We cannot hear you.
You saw what the Dark Lord wanted you to see.
I'm head boy. And the captain of the... Harry, quit fucking with me. What does the prophecy say, please? We didn't even talk about the... We didn't even talk about what the prophecy says. Like, one cannot live without the other.
It's much more dramatic.
Lives.
Like, it's kind of just passed quickly in the movie in such a non-dramatic way.
I want to read. We didn't even talk about
And they're
this.
talking about Neville or Harry. It all depended on who Voldemort decided to strike against.
Who was on first?
Yeah.
I think the best line in this movie is, "You seem to be laboring under the delusion that I'm going to..." What was the phrase? "Come quietly."
Yeah. Exactly.
Dude, Dumbledore has some
I don't plan on going to
bangers.
Azkaban.
So good. Fox! He's like, yes, is this my line?
And sedition.
And I'm out!
Yeah.
What if he just flipped him off as he...
Well, did you see DeBrow? Did you see Umbridge's face when they're like stepping forward to arrest him? She's like...
She's psyched about it?
Like...
She's psyched. She becomes the headmistress for a while.
Oh, the audacity of her. You have the ability to dismiss my teachers, but you do not have the ability to banish them from the school grounds.
Yeah, see, Dumbledore has some of the best lines in this. I'll kill you. What'd you say? Nothing.
Can you predict something for me?
He even, like...
Measuring Flitwick? Like, really?
Yeah, that's offensive, dude. But did you notice in the celebration, he was just like, yeah.
Move those mouths!
Did you also catch... I thought it was a really cool moment. If you're not looking for it, you might not see it, but when Fred and George are doing their shenanigans and everybody's, like, cheering, there are even Slytherins in the background that are cheering along with other ones, showing that, even this...
That's a good sequence.
House that is usually thought of as the bad guys, they're not all like that. They're just students that some of them are just regular, normal people that didn't like her, that, love a good sabotage.
Well, because even for them,
in that moment, it didn't matter what house you were in. It was just, we're all one.
Everyone doesn't like her. Except for Malfoy and their goons, which he's kind of been reduced these last two movies to just buffoonery. Yeah,
he was not in this, but he gets it. Next movie is basically his movie, The Half-Blood Prince.
What was that? when they do the fireworks, Fred and George scene.
Yeah,
and that firework like flew in front of Crabbe or Goyle's face, and he's like, he does something like it's a firework, you know?
Yeah. Relax, it's a firework joke. But
okay,
in
I
the
will.
book, they flood the place, and it's like a swamp, and it stays there for a while.
I didn't remember that.
Of course, we couldn't draw it out that much in the movie.
But
I would have liked to have seen a flood.
That's the thing that bothers me. Like, Stuart Craig is still in charge of the set design. But not so much the swamp thing. I'm kind of switching back to the whole Department of Mysteries stuff.
Yeah, we should.
Looks cool in the hallway with the black bricks and everything. But then the Hall of Prophecies is so boring.
Yeah, it
of
is.
a set design.
Yeah, I
no offense to the Stuart, but that is just such a boring place. It's just darkness and long rows of crystal balls.
And
which
Neville
get blown up within 2 minutes.
Hey, Harry, this one has your name on it. What if you saw one that had his name on it?
Well, it almost did have his name on it.
Right.
That's the whole thing in the book, which we never barely learn about. They don't...
Nothing.
I guess that's deemed not plot necessary in the movie, which it kind of isn't because we're focusing on Harry Potter. But it just goes to show that depending on who, it could have been one or the other. It could have been Neville. It could have been Neville Longbottom in the Order of the Phoenix.
I mean, maybe that would have been a better story, even. This kind of rags to riches.
And maybe.
Kind of the naughty to the hottie.
It would have been so much better if they were running through the doors and going to all these different rooms.
Yeah, but they just
and they were all mismatched.
Because
on the cover, look at the cover of the book. There's like a circular room with doors that are just rotating, and they're going in and out and in and out.
I'll say,
and then Ron gets like attacked by one of the brains, and it makes him like loopy.
Yeah,
and
that's just, they got to figure that out.
It's so much more exciting in the book.
Yes, it is,
because these are a group of 15-year-olds who they're at the frickin' ministry.
With books.
Yeah. But you can do it in the movie too, and it would.
Well, now if this movie or if any of these movies were made nowadays, they would be like 3 hours long. People can sit through 3 hour long movies now.
Or if it was a mini series, they would have
these would definitely
there would be
a
an
series.
entire episode dedicated to them just running through these doors in different rooms.
These would be, if Harry Potter were made today, like remade, it would be a series. I bet, and as it should be. But I don't think we're ever going to get that. We're never going to get a remake because they're still making spin-off movies that are in that universe. So as long as those are there, you can't just reboot the ones that it's based off.
These movies they become iconic. And when you make something like that, it's very difficult to go. It's like trying to remake Star Wars. They're so iconic and set in stone that you can't remake them without them being criticized.
It's like trying to remake The Room. You can't recreate that magic. Nope, can't do it. So don't try.
Mock.
When they were in the room, I'm sure it was a nod to the cover of the book because it like all their lights, it was blue. Like it was like this blue light, which is the book is just
it's just blue.
It's
candles.
only blue. It's different blue.
I love the blue.
It might be my favorite cover. Might be my favorite cover art.
Mine. Other than
Either
Deathly
that or the
Hallows.
first one. I think the first one's actually my favorite because it holds more.
Deathly Hallows.
Value.
It's Deathly Hallows. So well, it's between Order of the Phoenix,
Goblet.
Half-Blood Prince, and Deathly Hallows.
They're all good. They're all good.
Because the art gets more detailed too.
Yeah.
As the books mature.
I know how you feel, Harry.
You don't? It's my fault.
No, the fault is mine. I knew it was only a matter of time before Voldemort made the connection between you. I thought by distancing myself from you, as I have done all year, you'd be less tempted. And therefore you might be more protected.
The prophecy said, neither one can live while the other one survives. It means one of us is going to have to kill the other
in the end?
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me?
For the same reason you tried to save Sirius. For the same reason your friend saved you. After all these years, after all you've suffered, I didn't want to cause you any more pain. I cared too much about you.
This movie wasn't... I was ready to be like, yeah, this is the worst movie. So, I mean, it's not a bad movie still, even though they cut so much out and it's the shortest based on the longest book. I mean, I'd still rather watch this again than Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd watch Sorcerer's Stone, Prisoner of Azkaban, and Goblet before this. But, I mean, I still loved this movie. I enjoyed it. I had fun.
It's not my favorite.
Oh, no, mine neither, but it was my favorite book. It took me a while to get through, because I think I started watching it in increments last week, and I just finished it today, because I don't have the time that I usually do.
What did you mention to me? You texted me something.
Thunderstruck?
Yes. Yep.
Because I was watching it in my office, and I wanted to keep the volume down, so I turned the subtitles on. And when the order came in, like it said there was a low like thunder rumble, and I was like, oh, like I just like you hear that and it's like just comes in, and then it's when Kingsley Shacklebolt comes in, it's dar, dar. And then the next one comes
the hockey teams come out, and
yeah, and then the Death Eaters are like, oh shit. They put their mask back on, and then Kingsley goes, "You've been okay, I can't do this voice, but
surely you could
thunderstruck."
The difference between
and then zap
dreams,
and then Lucius is like, "Say what you want about them, but they enter in style." And he's like, "Who are you talking to? You're the only one here. We have you dead to rights." "Yes, of course. Unless perhaps you didn't have me at all." Yeah, but
Did you see, I think I might have sent it to you, it was Dumbledore versus Voldemort, if John Williams... Order of the Phoenix, if John Williams had scored it. It's almost perfect, the way it's scored.
Yeah, because John Williams is almost perfect.
But...
Has he made a bad
speaking
score?
of... That's... Sorry, I keep cutting you off again.
No, I've cut you off several times. That's cool.
It's...
How do you like
it? Bad
it?
habit of mine.
Yeah. You're rubbing off.
Interrupting man strikes again. Yeah. Lack of even Patrick Doyle. Let me rephrase that. Rewind. Okay. I cut you off again. Interrupting me. Okay.
Recreating that.
Okay. The music is a little bit more lackluster to me in this movie, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful to Nicholas Hooper. There's some good hits in there. I like the Dolores Umbridge theme. The it's all like la 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 la, and then you have the fireworks theme when Fred and George do their thing, which is my favorite part of the soundtrack of this movie. Possession, when Voldemort possesses Harry, that's one of my favorite pieces.
That was creepy. I did not remember that part.
There's maybe one other one that I really liked. Can't remember how it goes, but I know I like it.
It was great. It was my favorite bit. I have no idea how it goes.
When you compare it with the likes of John Williams, I mean, it's just another level. Like John Williams is a legend at coming up with themes like he does in melodies, and Nicholas Hooper was more used to doing smaller scale projects at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So this was new for him, and he did a decent job. There's just some pieces of music some of it just didn't work for me. Like the way he used the strings Too many string motifs that were like
too many strings, too many strings.
Too many. What do you call it musically? I was in band. I wasn't. I should know this stuff.
Yeah, of the two of us, you should know.
Just when you have these repeating patterns of string melodies, if you will, just repeated like and it's just like strings and over again like that.
Let's do that. Up the tempo a little bit. I raise the pitch.
But I love what they
Keep
did
it going.
what he did with the fireworks thing. That's like the best piece of the movie.
Whimsical.
But yeah, it's just when you compare it to John Williams and even Patrick Doyle from Goblet of Fire, it's just slightly
not fair.
It's slightly lower key, pun intended.
Nice.
But that kind of fits in with he worked with David Yates before, the new director who has directed every single Harry Potter movie since Order of the Phoenix. David Yates has.
And I found their guy.
Last time I complained about how we start to see the BBC-ification, the British BBC-ification of the way the art style is, like with the way they dress.
Yeah.
Like wearing more formal attire and
I'll say this about how they
suits and
dress.
vests and ties and stuff.
Sirius Black's outfit
I was wrong.
is on point.
Yes, Sirius Black's outfit is
His,
great.
like, robe,
his hair is
man.
perfect. His outfit is
He's
perfect.
just perfect.
And they all look great.
Kingsley
But
looks great.
they're slightly going towards that direction of wearing more like business attire
With
like
their
you would see in the
ties.
office instead of more of the robes. But I did like when you go to the ministry for the first time, you see all these witches and wizards with the pointy hats and stuff. And I was like, okay, we still see that. It's just it's less pronounced and the color's a little bit desaturated. But it just, as these movies go on from this point, they start to lose the feel of the wizard. The wizarding feel of the way they dressed.
Times are changing.
Especially in the Fantastic Beasts movies.
Times are changing. Speaking of time,
Yeah.
it's late, and I need to get to bed. So final thoughts are, I mean, you kind of gave yours, but
yeah,
and I guess I kind of gave mine too. I enjoyed this movie. I'd watch it again.
It's better than I thought of it initially.
Yeah, it's better than I remember it for sure.
It's just they should have cut certain things out and put certain
Extended the
things
fight
in its
scenes.
place.
Extend the battle, and you got yourself a much
But
better
it's got
movie.
some interesting themes
Like,
in it
make
too.
the whole Department of Mystery half the movie.
Well, not half the movie, but maybe the third. Well, the way you had it in our act structure was the third act, but the act's over in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It goes
I
by
would-
that quickly. The pacing is just, it goes by way too quickly about this stuff in the ministry.
Give us a 3-hour movie, and I'm fine with that. Give us a director's cut. Is there one? No. Even 2.5 hours. Add
How cool would it
12
have
more
been
minutes.
to see Harry fighting Voldemort and then Dumbledore coming in and taking over.
Would have been sweet. Because did he fight him in the book a little
I don't
bit?
think he did. Because
one
Dumbledore
more
made the
thing.
statues move, remember?
Yeah.
Which we don't get.
No. One more thing I will say is, like I said with the unforgivable curses, whenever they show up, it's like that moment, like, oh, like they did it. When Harry, like, you really get the sense of how mad he is and just how he's feeling. He goes for it without even hesitating. The Crucio curse to Bellatrix, like, that just kind of gets me hyped a little bit, but also like oh yikes, like he's in a bad place right now.
Also,
but it didn't really work because he didn't mean it.
That's what I like about that, the subtext. Because Voldemort's like, oh, you have to mean it, Harry.
You know the spells. Or you know the spell.
He didn't, it's such a good moment of like, in the moment, he's really angry. He's in anguish. He's really mad at her for
But he doesn't have
doing
it in
what
him
he did.
to really
but
make
it's
her
not
feel
his
it.
nature to do that.
No.
So the spell isn't strong enough.
I'm going to be honest. if that were me, I think I would have meant it. I don't think I would have had the control.
Or maybe he thought he meant it at the time, but his better
really.
angels got.
Well, it's a higher level spell, so you have to really. It's like expecto patronum. You can't just do that. You got to really like focus on it. It's like a level up. Like you're Expelliarmus and Stupefied. Those are you're playing Guitar Hero on medium difficulty. And then Expecto Patronum is on hard difficulty, but the Killing Curses, those are the final bosses. Those are on impossible mode or whatever the next mode is. Well, not impossible, but you have to really.
That's impossible.
Because if you just say Avada Kedavra and you don't mean it,
don't
and
make
you're
me look
teaching
ugly.
Jeez. Imagine how many people would accidentally die. Like, what is that? Oh, it's Avada Kedavra. Oh shoot! And then your wand goes off. Like,
so an
there's no safety
11-year-old
on a
couldn't
wand.
use a
11-year-old could
Kedavra.
because they could mean it. There could be evil 11-year-olds. I met him.
You've seen
Of course I know him. He was
It's
me.
me.
No, he was not me. I would never want to kill anybody. But yeah, Order of the Phoenix, that was that. We're gonna bounce out and get ready for the good one. No, they're all good. This one, the next one, Half-Blood Prince, I think is hailed as
It's one of
the top 3.
Probably third favorite movie.
The twist, I knew going in.
Well, yeah, you read the book.
No, I mean, I knew going into the book for the first time because I saw the movie first.
Oh,
this
you
was
idiot.
the first. This was this was the first movie, Half-Blood Prince, that I watched the movie before reading because this was at the time where I was like, I'm not gonna read, and then I did end up. I got that desire to read, and I'm like, really wish I hadn't have done that, but it's okay. It's like watching the "I Am Your Father" clip before experiencing the full movie. Everybody knew it, but it's still a great story. It's the best shot, I think.
Maybe
it's not for everybody, but I think
haven't
it
watched
is.
it in a few months. I watched
is.
it a few months back.
I can't wait to watch it.
This movie, though, Order of the Phoenix, has some good themes in it in terms of the relativity to our current political, educational climate.
Oh yeah.
And also with the themes of like friends and family and motherhood across all these different characters and how they relate to their parents.
Absolutely.
Interesting stuff.
It is. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you check out our other episodes.
And the
right,
acting was
Christian?
good in this too.
It was. And the hair was much better.
The hair was better.
Harry's
the
hair
acting
is normal.
was good, although slightly annoying.
That angsty
for
shit.
some not good reason. But
yeah,
I it's good. It's good.
It is. It's good. It's
In
good.
hindsight, it's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Play us out.
All right, everybody. This has been another new episode of Sequel Men, the podcast. Thank you for tuning in. And hey, if you want to listen to it again, hit that rewind button or
just go back 10 seconds
button.
a lot.
Yeah. Or go back 10 seconds a lot. Exactly. Or go, you know what? Go check out some of our other episodes that we've got. You've just listened to the Order of the Phoenix episode, continuing our Harry Potter series. Check us out some of our other ones. You know, the quality has gotten better since some of our first season episodes, and we've changed the way things have been conducted on the show over the past year or so. So, I know those are going to be a little rocky in the early days.
We're only going to get better,
enjoy
too.
it. We hope you enjoy those old episodes because we've gotten into a groove. We've gotten into a cadence here.
Yes.
So check those out.
Yeah, but
you can check them out.
You can check them out
on Spotify, anywhere you like to listen to your podcast.
Yeah.
Go ahead and check us out.
Spotify, Pandora.
I went through and I renamed the episodes too by putting episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, episode 5.
We're almost I did that. Is this one 90?
This is 89,
this 90?
I think. This
is the last one.
No.
I think
this
it's 90.
is 90. This is 90. You're right. 10 more episodes.
Until the big 100. I'm going to just say we got something big planned. We don't. But we're almost to 100. We're almost to 100. That'll be big. This is like the longest I've stuck to something that was merely an idea.
As big as Joel. What?
What? Speaking of, we almost said Joel. We didn't make fun of him on this one.
Yes, we did.
We're getting better. Oh yeah, we did, didn't we? Not as much.
Times.
Not as much. But thank you to Joel.
I can't wait for him to come back on and be like, well, hello, it's Joel.
Cartoon character.
Everyone's favorite punching bag. But anyway, by now I'm probably looking like a gremlin dropped in the
Yep, there it is. Yep,
vat
thank
of...
you. Oh, okay. Yep, thanks. Thank you. Oh, I'm 5'2". Okay, got it. Thank you. All right, play us out play us out. Oh, and like I said at the top, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that. Not Twitter, but Instagram and the Facebook.
Speak pipe. If anyone, why did I even set that up? No one's using it, so
that's all right. When we get big and famous, they will.
Well,
they'll see. They'll wish they'd have made the call before it's too late. We've already covered up to them. No, it's a promise. Just all like right. You promised that we
can't wait until the next one.
That's right, Christian, because here at Sequelman, the podcast, all films are created sequel.
Obviously.
Remember when we almost lost this audio?
Remember when your laptop didn't work?
Dude, my laptop, it just shut off. It's never done that before. Luckily,
it just exited the box. It just closed the program.
We got to give him credit. Although it's probably the program. It saved.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Signing off. I smell fruit. The minister and his... Wow. Oh, my gosh. Cut the cough out.